Good evening, everybody, and a belated welcome to Latimer Park, a rainy and cold, bitter Latimer Park for this top-of-the-table clash. Kettering Town, the Poppies against Stourbridge, the Glass Boys. And you'll be able to hear the game live here on Poppies TV audio. We will be recording the game, so you'll be able to see the highlights and interviews post-match a little later in the week. Well, with me this evening is Matt Spearman.
Good evening, Paul.
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Glad to be here. And,
yes, I was beginning to wonder who the hell you were.
Definitely, yes. Yeah, I wondered how to get to Latimer Park. It just seemed an age since we've had a league game here, but you know, I think it's going to be a good crowd tonight, and you know, this is a massive game, isn't it, for both teams taking part? And you know, we're not going to talk about deciders just yet, but you know, this is a great opportunity for Kettering to push away in that league. But if things don't go their way, you know, we'll start seeing who the other teams are in this league who Kettering have to watch out for. So, yeah, it's going to be hopefully a great game, and we'll get the same sort of result as when we played them in the trophy a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that in a few moments. Last Saturday, or Saturday just gone, we had an entertaining game at Royston. Ed Parr and myself watched that game down there. It was a 1-0 win. Royston built the game up to be their cup final, more or less, and Kettering came away with a very impressive 1-0 win, with Dan Holman scoring on his league debut. That's his third goal in 3 games. It was a late first half goal. It was a tap-in, but it was good movement from Kettering, and it was the only goal of the game. Tonight's opponents, though, Stourbridge, they beat Hitchintown 3-0 and are level with the Poppies on goal difference, keeping us apart. We do have 2 games in hand, and a victory tonight would be a massive statement for Kettering Town.
It certainly would. You know, end of November, not even at the end of November even, but yeah, it'd be great just to be starting to see a bit of gap between the first team and the second team in that league. And you know, without the trophy now out of the cup, so league is the full concentration for Kettering now. And you know, if they keep getting this momentum up, you know, over the festive period, it could be a magical time, couldn't it? So yeah.
Well, it could indeed, and as Marcus Law said to me on Saturday, it's going to be Stourbridge that are going to need the win more than Kettering. They are behind, and they're going to change their tactics. It was a different game in the trophy. It was a 2-0 win to Kettering. It was quite an easy 2-0 win. I think we'll see a different game entirely tonight.
Certainly. You say an easy game, but actually, you know, Kettering didn't have their strongest squad out either for that game as well. So I think it was 2 teams probably being fairly cautious, as they know it was a trophy, and I imagine both teams are really focused on the league as well. And it is going to be a lot different tonight. Hopefully Kettering won't be too complacent, you know, with that win against this team already. Hopefully they're not going to go out there and think it's going to be an easy game. But likewise, you know, hopefully they know the opposition, they know how some of their players play, and again, you know, another opportunity to continue this great form they're on.
And talking of form, it's the Glass Boys are the form team of the moment. They've unbeaten in the last 10 games, winning the last 5 very convincingly. Greg Mills is the leading top scorer in the league with 11 goals. They have the dangerous Luke Benbow, who was, as I say, a thorn in Kettering's proverbial when we played in the FA Trophy in October. This has the signs of being a classic or a complete anticlimax.
Well, that's
these
the issue,
games
isn't it? We normally build these games up to be massive, and then, you know, an own goal, scrappy goal. You know what? If Kettering get that tonight and they will get the 3 points from it, I don't think anyone's going to be complaining at all. You know, after the game on Saturday against Royston, a difficult team there. You know, in the past has been confrontations. You know, they're very, very animated, that squad, and I think Kettering did really well just to come away with a 1-0 win. You know, a few people would have said actually a point would have been satisfactory, but no, it's great. We've got the 3 points against Royston, and you know, we need to now continue this momentum. If we're going to be the champions, we've got to be winning at home, and we've got to beat these teams who are up there in the top of the table. Unlike last season, you know, that's where our fallback was.
Indeed, and the Kettering Town lineup like this: in goal, number 1 is Paul White, number 2 Darrell Berry, 6 in captain Michael Richards, 7 Lyndon Meikle, 8 Aaron O'Connor, 9 Dan Holman, 10 Ben Mills, 12 Dion Kelly Evans, and now I can't see anything. It's all gone black.
Yeah,
everything's gone black. Can't see anything at all.
Well, hopefully not out on
not out on there, yeah, but no, that's as far as I can give you. Bye-bye. Marcus Kelly is number 14, 15 Declan Towers, and 18 Nathaniel Rowe Turner. We'll go through that just before the teams kick off, just in case you didn't get that. And the subs on number 4, Brett Solkin. 5, Gary Storer. 11, Rhys Honus. And then again, I can't see who else is in the side at the moment, but we'll give you these teams just before kick-off. I was mentioning prior to that attempt at the Kettering team that Stourbridge are the team in form, and indeed they are. They beat Redditch, Hitchin United 3-0 on Saturday, Redditch 4-0 at Redditch. They beat Lowestoft 3-1, Bedworth 4-1, Royston 2-1, Needham Market at home 3-1. Of those 6 games, 5 though have been at home.
It's they've obviously made a fortress at their ground, and they've made a great start there. Away, this is where we can really do some damage. We can try and take the 3 points away from there as well. I believe is it one game they've lost this season in the league, and
it was a 10-goal thriller. It was a 10-goal thriller. They lost at Colville 6-4. And that's their only defeat in the league this season. They've drawn away at Alvechurch 0-0, St Ives Town 0-0. They beat Kings Lynn Town before their revival 1-0. And they drew on the opening day of the season 1-1 with Barwell. So indeed they are the team in form, and they're going to be needed to be watched today. Ben Toseland, who's not in the Kettering Town squad this evening's goal on 14 minutes in the Builder-Base FA Trophy first qualifying round was the first Poppy's goal against Stourbridge since the 1975-76 season.
A long wait.
A long wait indeed, and there's been a long wait. This is the first home league game here at Latimer Park since September the 15th, a run of 13 fixtures.
It's a long time, isn't it? As I was saying before, some teams would certainly struggle with the lack of finance coming in during them months. Fortunately for Kettering, they have had cup and trophy runs, which has resulted in money being gained there, and we've been able to actually build on the squad as well. So I think for some of the fans today, it's going to be a kickstart to the season really, because it's been for some a long time since they've seen Kettering play. Since they were last at home, we've seen Aaron O'Connor come back, and we've seen hopefully a great signing come into the squad as well. To have 2 strikers now starting compared to just Rhys Honus up there on his own, which we saw.
Honus did well, didn't he?
He certainly did, and he's on the bench tonight, and I'm sure he'll be dying to come on. And what a headache that is for Stourbridge to have someone like him to come on. With 30 minutes to go, the pitch is going to be heavy out there, it's wet out there, ball's going to skid around, and if substitutes go, that's the last person you want to come on.
Well, in their side, they have got Greg Mills and Luca Benbow, Stuart Pierpoints, the sub who was at Bedworth. They've got Robert Thompson-Brown at number 10 and Callum Powell. So it's a formidable front 4 for Stourbridge. One we'll have to watch. As we said, it's going to be a very different game to that 2-0 success in the FA Trophy. Stourbridge went joint top of the league with the Poppies after they won 4-0 away at Redditch. That's an impressive performance.
Certainly a good performance to go to Redditch, and to score 4 goals as well. They certainly sound like they've got a few goal machines in their squad, and the defence tonight, Kettering have got to be set up perfectly. They've got to make sure the concentration levels are high, and I just really hope that it isn't a dead ball situation or a calamity which gives them the lead. Kettering need to be out there, they need to be strong, and they need to try and get that early lead. Even if, take it to half-time, then come out afterwards, that'd be great. But, they've really got to start from the first minute today.
The Glass Boys also are unbeaten in the league at the War Memorial Athletic Ground. It's a fortress there, and Kettering have had that one defeat against Leiston here. That was a little while ago. The only hat-trick that's been scored for Kettering is a long time ago. Only Matt and Ed will remember this. It was in 1930-31 in the Birmingham District League. A certain Jackie Starsmore has scored that against Stourbridge. But there we are. This Saturday we are away at Rushall Olympic. Again, that will be a first league game against them. Join Ed Palmer and myself for full live audio coverage. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. We need 1,000 plus to earn money for the club. At the moment, we have 821 subscribers.
That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? It's fabulous to see. Keeps sort of checking in every now and again, and that'll be a great thing. For Kettering fans, it is a great opportunity to see this footage, interviews, things like that. There's not many teams at this level who do things like this, so it is vital that the Kettering fans, if they can't make them away games, they can still follow the team as well, and watch these highlights afterwards.
Indeed, so we'll try and bring you those highlights from tonight also as quickly as possible, but it might take a little bit longer than normal as our editor is in Newcastle.
Indeed, yes.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I think you saw that coming. Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Is that what Newcastle are called now?
I'm not quite sure what Newcastle's called now, but we can still say Newcastle, can't we? Can't say Person Chester anymore, but we can say. Or does it non-chromatic pool? We can say that, can we?
Well, just about, yeah.
Just about. But there we go. We'll bring you the news of the highlights later, but it is going to be an interesting end of November and December. We're here next Tuesday night against Redditch United.
It's going to be a tough game. You know, wherever they are in the league, it always seems like Kettering have found it difficult against Redditch. They can get results, but you know, now and again they seem to pop up with one or two players who certainly make it difficult for Kettering. And well, let's hope it's not that case next Tuesday.
Well, December is nearly upon us, and we look like this in the fixture list at the moment. St Ives Town visit here on Saturday the 1st, followed by Lowestoft Town on the 8th. We're away at Banbury United on the 15th, at home against Hitching Town on the 22nd of December. And then Christmas, Boxing Day, in fact, is Bedworth United away, another trip to Bedworth. And we finish off December with Kings Lynn Town on the 29th. In between there, though, there should be a CSS game. It should have been December the 4th against Colville, but that game will be postponed. But we don't know. We don't know yet who we're going to be there with that. So we'll have to wait until it is drawn. The league taking their time with this, so we don't know if we're home or away. We shall soon find out. Well, if you didn't get those teams, I'll give you the Kettering Town team. What I can't, it's gone again. I can't ever get to this Kettering Town team read out. Here we go. We'll try for the third time. Paul White is in goal. At number 2 is Darrell Berry. 6 is Michael Richards. 7, Lyndon Meikle. 8, Aaron O'Connor. 9, Dan Holman. 10, Ben Mills. 12, Dion Kelly-Evans. 14, Marcus Kelly. 15, Declan Towers. 18, Nathaniel Rowe-Turner. Your subs for Kettering tonight are 4, Brett Solkin. 5, Gary Storer. 11, Rhys Honus. 13, Lewis Elsom. And 16, Luke Graham. Stourbridge read like this in goal is James Wren. Number 2 is Aaron Hayden. 3 is Jordan Brown. 4, Paul McCone. 5 is Aris Christophou. 6 is Aaron Ford. 7, Callum Powell. 8, Liam Broadhurst. 9, Luke Benbrough. 10, Robert Thompson Brown. And their subs on number 12, Cayman Anderson. 14, Stuart Pierbright. 15 is Shaken Steele. 16, Darryl Westlake. And 17, Niall Mayer. Your referee tonight is Scott Tallis. And the assistants are Joe Clark and Simon Kavanagh. So that's how the teams line up. Our commentators will be going through that again for you in a little while. Just while I remember, Santa Martin Bellamy has a lot of merchandise available for sale for those Christmas gifts. If you are around Latimer Park, then nip in prior to the game, see Martin, and you can get all the details from the official website showing what is available. Clocks, I think it is, cufflinks, cushions, bags, pennants, all sorts of things, as well as the home kit, home and away, all available. And of course, Christmas creeping up, I'm sure that he would be delighted to relieve your wallet of that money. Also, of course, we've got the Kettering Town Christmas raffle with hamper prices and all sorts of gifts that you could be delighted for when you open your presents on Christmas Day. Well, in a few moments, I'm going to hand you over to Ed Palmer and Gary Foreman, who will be your commentators tonight. It's going to be a Clash of the Titans, I think I called it on social media, as Stourbridge visit Kettering Town. The teams are about to walk out. I'm going to hand you over now to Ed Palmer and Gary Foreman. It's Kettering Town against Stourbridge, live here on Poppy's TV Audio.
Well, thank you, Cookie. The teams are making their way out, as you can see. Oh, no, you can't see. Of course, we're not doing live images. It's audio only. So, as I can see, the teams are out. They are lined up. in front of the tunnel where they usually are. Kettering in their home strip of red shirts with the black trim, black shorts and red socks. And Stourbridge in what isn't going to stay, a very clean and bright yellow shirt, blue shorts and white socks. Almost, we've got Brazil down the road in Milton Keynes. It's almost a similar kit for Stourbridge. Let's hope they don't play like it, although they have been high-flying. Stourbridge currently second behind us, as they pointed out on their Twitter, only by goal difference. Let's hope that we can get a win today, and then it won't just be by goal difference. But here come the teams doing their normal warm-up just before the game. They're going to need it. It's a bitter night here at Latimer Park. Pitch is looking in good condition, though, and there's a healthy smattering of Kettering fans, and a few Stourbridge fans have made the trip over. I can see on a flag over there it says Barmy Llamas. I'm not going to ask the reference, but there we are. But linesmen and officials are ready to get the coin toss underway in a minute. And joining me, it's Gary. How are you? The wind has just dropped this second, which all of us are grateful for. So, first, second, what are we expecting?
I'm expecting a good game of football. I think Gary Davies at all.
Was it maybe the other wire that we needed?
We've got two teams all rotating. Yes, we've got two games in hand, but you know, this should be a good game of football on a still evening. This is cold, but that will have a bearing on the game. I'm looking forward to a good, attacking, entertaining game of football.
Yes, mate, what?
He's got the wrong cable plugged in, can't hear him at all.
Well, the other cable's down there because we said it wasn't that one, so can you get someone to run it up for us?
Okay, yeah.
Cheers, mate. That's right, your mic won't work for a second until we get the right cable plugged in. So apologies, you heard none of Mr. Foreman there. We will speak to him once we've got the right cable plugged into the right microphone. So we'll do that in a second. I'm not too sure exactly what Matt's doing with his hands, but I think he's indicating that the teams have switched ends to start with. And they have, and the llama flag has come down. So Kettering, unusually, will be kicking from our right to left. And Stourbridge starting from left to right. Let's look at that. The thousands of Kettering fans are making their way round, and there is actually quite a lot of Kettering fans. Not quite thousands, but there's certainly a lot of them. And off we go. We've started. It's Kettering who get us underway. And it's already down in that corner. We're just headed all the way back to Paul White. Apologies, we're just having a few technical issues here, trying to get the wires all sorted. Not missing anything on the pitch at the moment. Paul White has the ball, kicks long, headed up by one of the Stourbridge players, and that's a foul. That's always going to be a foul. Aaron O'Connor wanted the advantage. Referee, I think, puts his hand up in apology, acknowledges it, but it will be a free kick. Unfortunately, we don't actually have a team sheet just at the moment. Our printer broke, but we may very well have one shortly. We shall see. Up comes Mr. Cook. I'll see if he's got one or not. But, free kick in a dangerous area, this one, for Kettering. It's a good area to swing one in, and it's going to be the left foot of Marcus Kelly to do so. Two in the wall for Stourbridge. Taken quickly, and a shot blocked for a corner. Right, change some cable in the bottom of there to that one. Ball in from the corner, headed away, and Meikle's done well to keep the ball. It's gone back out to corner taker, which is Kelly. Great ball in, taken off the head of Declan Towers. Roe Turner's going to have to do something with this. It's not going to go, is it, for the corner? No, it is. It's rolled, and I think eventually we now can speak to Mr. Foreman. How are you?
Well, I'm very well, and I say it's the wind has dropped. It's a nice still evening now at Latimer Park, and corner's coming in.
Brilliant. Ball in deep, headed back over by Towers. Headed there, should be goalkeepers. No, it's not. Missed, and it's going to be another corner the opposite side. So we've had 3 corners now from opposite sides, and it's going to be Marcus Kelly to take this one. Some good corners gone in already, and a good early start for Kettering. So, Kelly, but it's gone straight out to Marcus Kelly, puts the ball in. It's not a bad ball! Goalkeeper. Don't think it was meant to be a shot from Marcus Kelly, but it certainly troubled the goalkeeper, and he pushed it over the bar. Really good effort, put the ball into a really dangerous area. Ball swung in again this time. Oh, and it was met by the head of... who was that? It was Michael Richens, who didn't get enough on it and put it over the bar. But a lively start. Is that the start we expected?
Yeah, it is, to be honest. I say expecting a good, entertaining game of football from the... as you say, succession of corners on the trot. Marcus Kelly with a very good effort. I think it was probably travelling into the top corner, but to be fair to the keeper, pushed it around for another corner.
Still broadcasting audio and everything.
Broadcast all properly, it's just that's off.
No worries, thank you. Is the printer now working?
I doubt.
Shorty said he got a couple of pages off it.
Ball on the far side, throwing to Kettering at the moment. Michael Richards though under pressure and losing the ball. Stourbridge breaking forward, but Richards tackling back, and the ball has ran out for a throw-in on the far side to Stourbridge. Thrown back into the midfield area. Ben Milnes slides in, gets the ball back for Kettering. And cleared long, the ball falls back to Marcus Kelly, and unfortunately Aaron had strolled into an offside position, so
he rammed into that tin hat in this first half. Certainly a lot of them huddling like penguins to stay in the warmth, and Stourbridge have it deep inside the Kettering half, in fact by the corner flag over on the far side. Running all the way backwards, ball put in low. Richards stabs a boot at it, then headed away by Kelly, but only as far as the midfield for Stourbridge. A good crossfield ball to their number 7. 7 twists, turns, facing up Nathaniel Roe Turner, and it's bounced off him for a corner, first of the afternoon or the evening for Stourbridge. So new balls, please, as a good ball from Richard Lavery is pinged over to the number 10, who I think that's Ben Bow, I think it is, who is a prolific striker at this level. Ball goes in, up, not away at all. It's not cleared, and eventually it's stabbed away on the and a shot. Oh, it's deflected off someone I didn't see, and now it's away, and it's cleared out by Milnes. Holman's there, and the number 5 is done actually really well to keep it in play as well. Good header from Ben Milnes. Meikle does well. Roe Turner's got a man on. Bumped after. Oh, expert flick from Holman, who releases Kelly, who releases Holman again. He stands up the number 5, but he's blocked off, and Stourbridge come away with it. Long ball forward. Bit of head tennis going on, not getting the ball under control, but this Richards now brings it down on the chest. He's dispossessed almost too easily though, and Stourbridge will counter-attack on the far side. And there's a crossing opportunity here, brought back. Can't see which Stourbridge player it is on the far side. Twisting, turning, cut out easily by Towers. He's got a bit of time, then releases Ben Milnes on the far side. He's right on the touchline over there on the right-hand side. Looking for options. Oh, his pass is woeful, and it's gone straight to a Stourbridge player who attack again. This looks like it's going to be back and forth, doesn't it? I think we expect a little bit more tactics and caginess in the opening minutes, but so far there's been 4 corners and a couple of breaks.
Yeah, both teams clearly up for it tonight, and good end-to-end attacking football seen from both teams. So that's exactly what we want.
Well, it'd be nice for us if it was just at one end, and that was. But I guess for the neutral.
For the neutral,
and for in terms of getting your money's worth, I guess. Anyway, that ball from the throw-in was kicked forward towards absolutely no one, and Paul White now has a chance for a goal kick. Who places it down on the right-hand side of his 6-yard area. Of course, Kettering are kicking towards the tin hat end first half rather than towards the shed end, where the Stourbridge fans are currently housed at the moment with their flag. Good kick from Paul White, although he's not going to find anyone. Yes, he has. It's been kept in well by Richards and then brought down by Holman. Stourbridge bring it away though, and it's nice football from Stourbridge, really nice. And they found their right back here, who's got a lot of space to run into. He's now deep inside the Kettering half. Out to the number 7, facing up Roe Turner. Good challenge from Roe Turner. Richard Lavery giving the linesman some instruction there. Linesman chooses to ignore him, I think. But certainly some interesting instruction, wasn't there, as the throw-in's taken. Number 6 puts the ball in. Oh, it's a header. It's a good header. Oh, it's a corner as well. It must have been Towers who got his head on that one, but that was dangerous.
Yeah, another dangerous ball into the box, Kettering's box this time. And yeah, Towers just rising ahead to nod it for another corner. So Stourbridge are now beginning to catch up a little bit on the corner front. And as soon as we get the ball back to the number 10, he'll be looking to swing another dangerous corner in.
Yeah, all manner of danger happened from the first one, didn't it? Let's see if they can create the same panic. The number 10 again, it's going to be right-footed, swinging outwards. There it is, it's headed away and behind by Declan Towers. Didn't know much about it, it just sort of hit him in the face. But I guess if it works.
Yeah, that was a face ball. He's a hard man now, he's back up on his feet and ready to defend the next one.
Corner comes in again. Overhead kick! Oh, it's just past the post. That was a good effort from the big central defender, I think it is, for Stourbridge. It was sort of not a scissor kick, but it was still sort of overhead, and it just skipped past the post. And Paul White looked to have it covered. He pulled away his hands at the last second. So a good awareness from Paul White to know where his goal was, but a good effort as well. And no one was really picking him up that well. It was the left back, sorry, for Stourbridge. Richards wins the header, but there's no one in Kettering colours landing on it. A big ball over the top. That should be Dion Kelly-Evans. It is. He puts a boot towards Kelly. Marcus Kelly, who doesn't quite get there, but he's going to put some pressure on the Stourbridge player. Forces the Stourbridge player to kick up and over the stand for a throw-in. Under no pressure, really, the Stourbridge player. He probably should have done a little bit better than that, but never mind. Works for Kettering, of course. To Kelly-Evans then. Ball in hand. Milnes receives, plays it to Darrell Berry, who comes out to Nathaniel Roe Turner. Roe Turner plays in the channel. That's heavy. That's way too heavy. And O'Connor, maybe 10 years ago, might be getting a little bit close to that, but I don't think even he's going to get to that one.
No, I don't. Returns wouldn't have got to that one, so that's how badly over his it was.
It was a good area. He's just put too much power on it, hasn't he? It's exactly where you want it. Down the line, hit it in that pocket in the corner, but certainly takes some off it. It's a goal kick for Stourbridge. Right-footed. Should be Towers. Free header. Is. And Stourbridge managed to cut that out and then just hit long again. Kelly-Evans underneath it. Heavy touch by the Stourbridge player, and now he's been sent away. Kelly-Evans should get there first. No foul, plays to Towers, who clears. Good ball. Holman has come at him off the turf quickly there, Holman. Aaron O'Connor's offside, and they're going to argue that when it deflected off the number 4, it changed the phase of play. But I think the linesman's in the right, that one. I think it's still the same phase. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right decision. Wasn't the first ball that came through, but he was certainly active too quickly.
Exactly, and the goalkeeper for Stourbridge now playing in a blue shirt with white and black trim across the front of the shoulders, black shorts, black socks, and Paul White in his traditional all green. It's a long ball from the goalkeeper into the box. It is headed across, and there could be a chance here. There's going to be another overhead kick chance. It's a half volley. Good save, Paul White. Flying save off to his right. Tipped it past the post, and a really, really good effort from Paul White to save that one, but a good effort from the Stourbridge player as well, who turned on the half volley and unleashed a left-footed shot to Paul White's right. Tipped it past the post, only just though. They've got another corner at Stourbridge. They're now level on corner stakes. Well, they might be ahead, I'm not sure. I think it's 4-3 to Stourbridge on corners. That comes in, that's a good area, but Paul White claws a right hand at it and punches it away. Meikle can't get there quick enough, but Kelly Evans does enough to get in front of the Stourbridge player, but puts that over Polwell Lane and into the Weetabix factory, I think. So new ball needed. Well, it looks like Richard Lavery is the designated kicker across the pitch as well. Not a bad kick either.
Well, that's why he's unused sub.
Well, exactly, of course. Not on the bench today, though. We have a full complement of uncoached coaching staff, I should say. And Stourbridge are playing some really nice football now, just playing triangles, although they might get themselves in a little bit of trouble here. They've got away with it just. And they're going to hit long. Roe Turner should be underneath it. Oh, he slipped. But Meikle gets there anyway. He's put a high ball towards Holman. Holman's won the header. And, O'Connor brought it on the chest, but there was too much pace on it, and it's just been nicked off him. Now it's in the centre of the park with Stourbridge. The number 8 out towards the left back, who's herring over the halfway line now. Still going, the left back. Now out to the left midfielder, right on the touchline. Halted and comes inside to the number 7. All the play over on that far side. Good work from Ben Milnes, but he's not quite got there enough, and they're still going through Stourbridge, and Towers clears away, and the standard response from Richard Lavery to a handball claim goes over. Stourbridge have the ball again though, now inside Kettering's half on this right hand side. Didn't get there anywhere on the left. Trying again. Good covering from Berry. O'Connor's all the way back defending. That shows how much he wants to get on the ball. Roe Turner, good ball down the line towards Holman, and it's dealt with just about by the central defence of Stourbridge, and away they go again. Oh, and Berry could be in trouble here. Paul White comes out, knees the ball up into the air under pressure, and then Berry brings down calmly. Looks to try and pick out an option, but there's just no one on, so he lays it back to Paul White, who's got all the time in the world. Stourbridge very much going for the will cut off options rather than put pressure on route, it looks. And certainly Paul White doesn't have anything at the moment. He goes long. O'Connor's the target. O'Connor flicks on. He flicks on to where Holman just was and had vacated. Applause for Paul White, though. It was a good ball in, and I'd say Holman had just made the wrong run for Aaron O'Connor. Or maybe Aaron O'Connor had put the wrong ball in. Who knows? Kelly Evans brings the ball down anyway. Outright to Marcus Kelly. Kelly in the centre to Richards. He's got a little bit of space to work with. Floats a ball to Lyndon Meikle. Really nice ball, that. Meikle goes inside rather than out towards Nathaniel Roe Turner, and that ball is dragged,
Ambitious.
to say the least. Yeah, decidedly average.
Too ambitious.
Yeah, so yes, almost too average, as it went out of play for a throw-in. Still 0-0 here at Latimer Park. I'd say probably Stourbridge have had the best opportunity, forcing a save from Paul White well to his right. But there we are. No goals as of yet. There's a throw-in right down by the Stourbridge corner flag on their left-hand side of the defence. Kettering's right of attack. Lyndon Meikle picks up the ball in the centre of the park, plays it to Milnes with that, and it's been deflected through, and Aaron O'Connor's there. Goalkeeper comes out. Holman's there. Oh! Goalkeeper just comes out and right hooks the ball. Didn't attempt to catch it. It was almost like the boxing that we'll see very shortly. He just went out and threw a right jab at it, and only just got the ball away from Dan Holman. That was dangerous for Kettering.
Yeah, that was a bit of a penalty box incident, that was. But to be fair to the keeper, he did win the first challenge, and then had the sense not to clatter into Dan Holman on the for the second. So otherwise, we could have had another spot kick.
Well, there's a chance for Stourbridge from the throw, and they've gone all the way down the line. That's a foul. Yeah, it may not really be one, but it's always going to be given as a one. You know, it's one of those ones. There's a little bit of a touch in the back of Declan Towers. He went down after the pursuit, and the referees always give those, regardless of whether it is a foul or not. It just seems to be it's a foul.
Yeah, it was a foul. I'm not saying that Declan couldn't have stood up to it. He didn't need to fall over, but sometimes you do need to fall over to get the free kick. So
exactly,
sensible thing.
Experienced game playing, isn't it? Play the game rather than the player, isn't
professional.
it? Paul White then with the free kick. It's flicked on by the Stourbridge player and then flicked on by Ben Milnes. Couldn't quite find O'Connor, but the clearance has found Meikle, who's taken a heavy touch backwards, but a good ball out to Nathaniel Roe Turner. Nice little cut back to Meikle puts the ball into Holman. Holman tried to flick it around the corner, but only hit himself in the chest and has allowed a Stourbridge counter-attack here as they go long. Richards right place, right time, but it's only gone to the left back for Stourbridge. Now into the centre. And it's with their number 10. Now back to the centre of midfield, out to the right back, who's gone forward. It's the number 5, Aris Christophanu or something like that. Ball cut into the centre. Stourbridge making it sort of look at these difficult passes look a little bit easy at the moment. Ball down the channel. Will be held up. Berry's in attendance. Cross goes in. Paul White claims easily. No options for him though, so he has to hold back. But no, goes to bowl out twice, but there's no one there, and there we go. Now he bowls out to Nathaniel Roturner, affectionately called Snoop. Still haven't found out why. Certainly doesn't look like him. Ball in the centre to Dan Holman. Holman tried to put a ball, I think, through to Aaron O'Connor. It looked a little bit heavy. It looked like he's probably going for a shot, actually, from about 40 yards. Well cut out there by Ben Milnes, and Holman's picked up the ball again. Milnes now on this left-hand side, getting chalk on his boots. Looking to go inside, lays it to Holman. It was always going to be too heavy, but it's been deflected through, and Aaron O'Connor's prowling, but Stourbridge just get there, clear away. It's going to stay in. Oh, and it's hit the standing leg of Lyndon Meikle rather than the leg you wanted to bring it down with, and it's bounced off his knee out for a throw in front of the away dugout. Throw in then for Stourbridge, looking for options down the line possibly. Still, we always say they nick a few yards. The player there has nicked probably, I mean, actually probably about 10 yards.
Yeah, he was about probably 10 yards further forward,
well,
and
yeah, considering it was
exactly urging much to go back either. So.
Yeah, considering the ball went out in front of the away dugout and he's taken it inside the Kettering half.
Yeah, in front of the Kettering dugout. Yeah.
Quite how far away he's nicked there. Ben Milnes in the centre of the park then. Lovely ball through to Aaron O'Connor, who is adjudged offside. Can't make comment, not in line with it. No real complaints from anyone though, so it looks like it's probably the right decision. Not that we would ever question the officials, of course.
Of course we wouldn't, no. That looked a lot closer though, so Aaron's getting closer. So on those run-throughs, if he...
Maybe half a yard further back, he might...
Absolutely, he's just sort of gauging what he can get away with, you know, playing on the edge of the last defender.
All you can ask for is improvement. Free kick taken by the goalkeeper then. Flicked on, but it should be a goal kick, although Declan Tower's going to have to do some shielding here. He's done really well. Took a shove in the back for his troubles as well from the Stourbridge player, who's trying to claim that shove in the back made it a corner. If anything, that shove in the back made it a free kick. So either the referee's given the goal kick or he's given a foul there. But sensible play by the referee to give the goal kick. No real difference in it as Berry picks up the ball in the centre of Kettering's half, looking forward, comes over the halfway line. Now Aaron O'Connor plays back to Berry. It's short though, and now there's a chase on, but Towers gets there, takes a touch, and then goes back to Paul White, who's going to get one touch at this. Then he's going to have to go because the number 10's bearing down. It's a good ball, although it's good defending from Stourbridge and well watched by Dion Kelly-Evans, who hooks over his head. That's going to be a foul. Yeah, Richards didn't mean it, but he's just clattered into the Stourbridge player after the ball's gone. It's one of those where completely unintentional. But one thing that I'm noticing so far this game is the amount of time the ball hasn't gone out for throwing from clearances. The amount of times we see a ball cleared and it goes out for a throw-in or a set piece, and actually the ball has spent the majority of this game inside the white lines.
Yep, they've obviously been practicing the long game.
Looks like this ball's going to go into the box from Stourbridge. It's maybe 4 or 5 yards inside the Kettering half. In fact, it is. Oh, there's a lot of hands over there. Roturner had to be careful because he was all over the Stourbridge player. Now there's a chance for the number 6 who doesn't shoot, tries to play a reverse ball through, and there could be a chance. And he's, well, he's not hit that one well. He's put it high, wide, not very handsome, and well, it's just gone over.
Yeah, that's another ball that Morrison's will have on sale tomorrow.
Other brands are available if they pay us or relocate next to our ground. We'll mention you. Stourbridge bench are trying to claim for something. I think they may be saying about the Roturner hands, but the referee didn't see it apparently. Kettering Town fans still singing, by the way. They've given a good account of themselves on a cold Tuesday night. It was a foul. Honestly, I'm so glad that we have these new microphones that cut out the background comments, because we would be in so much trouble standing above Richard Lavery.
Modern technology, eh?
I know, fantastic, isn't it? If not, we would be genuinely, I think, seeking an R rating for the broadcasts. But Darrell Berry to Towers. Kettering playing along their back line. Berry wants it back, but Towers sees something forward. Richens can't get there, and Stourbridge bring it away. Richens a little bit of a niggle there and a slip, and he's still working, Richens, but eventually the ball gets cleared. Berry underneath it. Kelly underneath this one, sorry, Kelly Evans. Now it's Milnes. Milnes tries to go down to Aaron O'Connor, but it's cut out, and Stourbridge come across the half again in the centre of the park, going out towards the left. Now on the left touchline. Good sliding challenge that over there by, didn't see who that was. And then that's a foul on Ben Milnes. It was Michael Richens who'd made that challenge. Really good slide tackle, actually. Could have got that wrong. Didn't, and allows Paul White to take a free kick.
Yeah, I have to say, after entertaining sort of open 10 minutes with you know, action at either end of the pitch, it's gone scrappy, I think we can safely say.
I think the instruction in the dressing rooms before the game was go out and get an early goal in both dressing rooms.
Yeah.
And if we don't get it, then settle in. I think we'll have probably seen a very similar team talk from both managers, actually. I think Stourbridge will be here to win, because you know, they are second on goal difference, but Kettering have got the game advantages as well, so Stourbridge will want to put some pressure on by getting the 3 points above Kettering, so they won't be here just to take a point and go home with it.
No, and I don't think Kettering are going to take the mentality either of just sort of saying, well, you know what, it's up to Stourbridge to take the game to us, and if we get a point from this, we'll be happy. That's not in our DNA either.
No, of course. I think we probably all would feel okay with a point, but we'd feel much better with all three. Ball through for Kettering, although it's cleared away over the nursery.
I think if we're losing with 5 minutes to go, then I'll accept the point.
Yes.
That's my deal.
Yeah, I think so. A point's not a disastrous result,
No,
is
it
it?
isn't. No,
It would be nice
would
for all
not
three,
be.
but to stay top on goal difference and have those two games in hand isn't a dreadful outcome. That's a great ball down the line, by the way, and Kettering put the ball in. It was Lyndon Meikle or Kelly. They both look the same from distance. It's Meikle.
It was right foot. It has to be Meikle.
Well, you never know. Kelly might have been working. But throw in for Kettering. Dion Kelly to Meikle. Meikle looking for an option. He plays back to Richens. Richens puts a ball in. It's low, but it's only cleared up and not out by the Stourbridge player. Goal kick. It came off Holman last when they both challenged for the ball that had gone up into the air. So still 0-0 at Latimer Park. Arguably the best chance falling to Stourbridge, but Kettering have had another really good one, which meant that Stourbridge stopper needed to be on his best behaviour, punching the ball away twice and making sure he got no players in the aftermath of it. He's now got a goal kick to take, which he takes over towards the right hand side. No Kettering players challenging for it, but now Richens comes in and marshals the ball away for a throw in inside the Stourbridge half. Stourbridge will take. No, but I take your point. The game's certainly quietened down in the last 10 minutes or so. Everyone's settled down a little bit, and
Even the Poppets fans are quieting down now.
well, yes, there is a little less to shout about, but it is cold, so they could probably keep themselves warm with a little bit of singing. That's a Kettering throw-in, and it is indeed. And it always makes me chuckle when football players try and challenge something that's so blatantly obvious. A few of the Stourbridge players put their arms in the air then, but I mean, it was very
reaction,
blatant.
body reaction.
Yes, a blatant throw-in for Kettering. Good work from Berry, as Kelly had sold him a little bit short. Droll Berry, it's not a great ball through. It might fall for Milnes, it hasn't. It's cleared away. Towers has got all the time in the world, nods it out wide right to Michael Richens. Richens now plays it into Milnes, who doesn't get there, and away comes the ball again. Good cutout by Kelly, although his touch is heavy, and it allows Stourbridge to retain possession, and they're going to have a chance here. Good from Richens again. and that's a second bite of the cherry to spray it out left, and he's overhit it, and a throw in for Kettering. But Richard Lavery not happy with the sloppiness of
Yeah,
Kettering's
he's offering encouragement, Ed. That's
He
what
is.
he's doing
Yes.
in his own inimitable style.
I think we can call it encouragement. So throwing it for Kettering, it's halfway inside their own half. Kelly to take it. Kelly Evans, sorry, to take it. Not really a lot on for him, so he's going to go long down the line. Flicked on by Richins, but cleared back that way. Towers falls, no foul. And Stourbridge are inside the Kettering half now. Still going. Penalty. It was Darrell Berry who marshalled the Stourbridge player over, and for the referee's liking, too heavily.
Yeah, Bembo was showing his strength there and getting the wrong side of Darrell Berry, and it did look as though there was an arm around Bembo, and yeah, it looked as though sorry, Greg Mills it was. Greg Mills going to take it. Yeah, it's Bembo that won the penalty, and it's the ex-Corby player.
Richards still remonstrating with the referee, but it won't matter now. Paul White has got a job to do and stop a penalty. If he doesn't, Stourbridge will take the lead in this game. So, a hush falls over Latimer Park as he steps up, right-footed. Whistle goes now. Up he steps. Scores. 1-0 Stourbridge, and it's a penalty. And Kettering will argue the toss, but it won't matter now. Kettering are 1-0 down at home. It's only the 7th goal they've conceded this season, but it is a goal, and it's a sloppy one from Kettering's point of view.
Yeah, it wasn't the most clear-cut penalty, but they did look as though there was contact from Berry, I think it was, with the arm on Bembo, and just shows you the strength of Bembo, and if you get in the wrong side of him, he's a difficult man to get muscling off the ball, and if you over muscle and use your arms, then you are in danger.
Certainly still a lot of football to play here though, and Richins plays the ball to Kelly. Kelly back to Richins. Richins to Towers. Stourbridge pressing quite highly now straight after that goal. It's been left for Aaron O'Connor. He's on the right-hand side of the box. Falls over. He's never going to get a free kick for that. Tries to ask for it, but not going to get there. Richins cuts out. And it's cleared out for a throw-in by the Stourbridge player onto the top of the burger bar. Lavery unhappy with the referee. And it's gone out now for a Stourbridge throw-in. Kettering are going to have to come from behind now. Not something they've done often this season.
No, they've not had to be honest.
That's also a very good point.
But you know, I've been really impressed with Kettering's second half performances this season, and they're going to need another good one, I think, today as well.
Yeah, Kettering have been a little bit sloppy this first half after the opening sort of 5-10 minutes. Some of the passing's been a little bit awry, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Stourbridge, they are a good side. They've been pressing. They've not got something to defend as well, should they wish to. But they're the kind of side that are more likely to come forward again and try and get a second.
Well, they're going to have a chance here. They've got a corner as the ball deflected off Declan Towers. It's going to be a corner on that far side. It's the goal scorer to take it. Few tall players from Stourbridge making their way forward. It looks like it's going to go short, but Meikle and Kelly Evans are on the case. So, in it goes. It's a good shape on it. Cleared away, and then even further by... let's see who that was. It could have been Kelly Evans. O'Connor holds up. Leaves it for Meikle. Meikle plays a cross-field ball, but it's cut out by the number 5. What's Kelly? Roe Turner's a long way out of position, and the ball goes forward again for Stourbridge out on the far side, and Stourbridge has still got players forward. They've still got 5 forward, and one of them's on the ball now on the left hand side of the box. Ball put in low, and it's taken off the foot of the striker there by Declan Towers, and they'll have another corner on the far side again. The corners, the deliveries have been good from Stourbridge so far, and they'll have a chance to put another one in.
Yeah, Stourbridge put it on the pressure. Good run in there for Greg Mills. And Cross trying to search out Bemba on the first near post, but cleared away for the corner.
Good header away from Kelly Evans as the ball came in, but it's going out to the corner taker again, who allows it to roll for a throw-in. So, certainly look to be slowing down a little bit, Stourbridge now. A few of the Kettering fans over there are encouraging the referee, and now they're going to leave it for another throw-in taker, and the referee is telling them to get on with it. Very animated as well, the referee. But here come Stourbridge again, still breaking forward. Shot blocked by Meikle. Meikle now, Holman has it out to Roe Turner. Kelly's in a bit of space down this line if he finds him. He doesn't, now he does, and that's poor. And it was a lot of power on it, but not the direction from Roe Turner. And Kelly stood there, arms aloft, as if to say, what on earth was that?
He doesn't have the same skill, obviously, as Marcus to pass the ball, but even so, that was quite a simple pass to make, and as you say, completely overhit.
Ball put in, headed away by Roe Turner. O'Connor holds it, good turn. Needs an option, he's got Kelly Evans, but he's been too heavily marked. He now goes out to Roe Turner, who takes a touch onto his left foot, down to Meikle, who puts it back to Roe Turner. It's under his feet, so he has to go back to Berry. Berry's got Towers if he wants to go across. No, he plays low to Kelly. Kelly to Roe Turner, back to Kelly. Kelly into Ben Milnes. Ben Milnes to Roe Turner, back to Milnes. Kettering are just trying to keep some possession here, although Ben Milnes has just given that up, although he's done really well to get the ball back. Now it's with Meikle on the left hand side. Roe Turner's on the overlap, he doesn't use him. He's lost the opportunity to put the ball in, he tries to, but it's headed away too easily. And there could be a chance here for Stourbridge to attack, although Towers has done really well. That's a Kettering throw in. Yeah, he played it really well, Towers, off the Stourbridge player, the number 9. Did really, really well, and has managed to take out of that everything that he would have wanted when he started that pursuit. Ball forward, headed away, and then that's going to be a Stourbridge throw in as it's come off Kelly Evans' back of his head, really, rather than the forehead. So 1-0 to Stourbridge, and it's come through a penalty not long ago. Apart from that, it's been a fairly even game. Kelly Evans underneath it. O'Connor gets a header. Few players and fans calling for a foul, not given, and that's can be calmed down by Towers, who turns on it. He's got lots of space now. Berry, loads of space and time. Out to Roe Turner. Roe Turner's going to have to go back to him. He does. Berry looking for an option. He's not really got anything. Has to go to Milnes, who goes back to Berry again, who claims a hand in the face there. Berry to Holman. Holman turns, twists, still has the ball, lays it to Darrell Berry. Into the screaming Lyndon Meikle, who wanted it. Is he going to shoot? I think he probably is. It's off! A hit! Well, the crowd fell silent as he hit that because it bobbled up and we did not know where that ball was going. The whole ground just stood and watched, and that ball dipped, it swerved, and it found its way just inside the top right hand corner. What a fantastic goal!
Absolutely brilliant. It was almost Ronaldo-esque, the way that it sort of got up in the air and you thought, oh, it's going to blaze over the bar. And the way it dipped down from such range,
I mean, you'll have to look at the highlights when they come out, because as you say, we all stopped there half expecting to groan as it had gone miles over the bar, and then halfway through the air it's like it hit something. It just dipped with such ferocity, and the goalkeeper was completely, everyone, oh, I haven't got the attendance, but it's going to be a fairly healthy one, everyone in the ground had no idea where that ball was going until it ended up in the back of the net. What a fantastic goal! And Kettering have the ball again. Heavy touch by Holman though, and Stourbridge are looking to come back early, but well cut out by Declan Towers. It goes to Ben Milnes. Ben Milnes, long ball towards Kelly. That's a great ball. That's a fantastic ball. Kettering have suddenly found their mojo a little bit. Ball in. It's a good ball in. The Stourbridge defender came sprinting back. He couldn't really do a lot except let the ball hit him, because if he hadn't, O'Connor was going to prod the ball in. It looked like he'd put it in himself, but it's just grazed the post as it went past, and Kettering have a corner now. And suddenly, from 1-0 down, it was looking doom and gloom, and Kettering weren't playing very well, and it was all a little bit sloppy. They've it was like a switch. That goal has turned them on completely. Ball in, header. Oh, he's jumped too early. A few claims for a penalty at the World Cup they would certainly give him. But it's going to be a throw-in for Stourbridge.
Not missing anything at the moment. Stourbridge have a throw-in deep in their own half that the left back is now propelling forward. Ball breaks to Kelly Evans, hoists it forward. Cleared again from Stourbridge up to the left wing Greg Mills to Bembo, trying to pass the ball forward again, but this time Darrell Berry gets there, back to Paul White, who clears long to the midfield area. The ball breaks down to Aaron O'Connor, to back to Michael Richins, finding Marcus Kelly. Ball forward into the penalty box, and again Stourbridge have to concede yet again for another corner.
A little bit nervy now, Stourbridge,
Yeah,
aren't
they're
they?
looking a little bit rattled now. And like you say, it's certainly a spark that went off and ignited. And Kettering are back on the front foot.
Corner in, goalkeeper drops it, oh, and it's cleared away, and it's fallen to Lyndon Meikle, the goal scorer, brings it down, puts the ball in, good save by the goalkeeper. Oh, and Holman's shot's blocked, and it's away for a Kettering throw-in. Well, fireworks night was a few weeks ago. We've certainly got some bangers here. We haven't had a home game in a while, leave me alone. So, Holman with the ball now onto his left foot, puts the ball in. Richards is there! What a ball in it was from Holman. Richards went one way, went the other way. His man was left on the floor and stabbed it into the back of the net. 1-0. Nope, it's now 2-1 to Kettering.
Well, what a turnaround. Another good cross into the box, and Michael Richards found himself alone. The Stourbridge defenders are complaining to the referee that the defender was eased out of the way as the cross came in by Richards. I didn't see a lot in it myself, though, I have to admit.
I heard the Stourbridge fans, Gary, saying top of the league, we're top of the league. It shows you why we are top of the league with a comeback like that, doesn't it? And what a superb few moments.
Yeah, and top of the league, not just on goal difference anymore, as their Twitter was so quick to point out to us.
Game's not over yet, boys. Game's not over
No, it is
yet.
not. There is still a lot of football to be played, and it only takes a second to score a goal.
It does
and
indeed.
all such cliches of the sort. They now have to score 2 more to win and all that kind of stuff. But Stourbridge get us back underway again. Meikle can't quite get there. It was late from the Stourbridge player on Michael. No, who is that over there? It's Kelly Evans.
Kelly Evans, yeah, I think it was a fair challenge for the ball, although the card is coming out.
Oh, it is going to be a card, yes.
For Greg Mills.
Well, we're getting towards Christmas, but that's an early card for the Stourbridge player.
It wasn't a charity card either.
Well, he's taken his number, and he's going in the book. I think that's a little bit harsh, that yellow card. Actually, it was maybe it was a foul. I can agree that it was a little bit late, but a yellow card's a bit harsh.
I think Greg Mills went for the ball. Yes, he was sliding in a little bit, but he wasn't two-footed or anything. So I think he was a bit unlucky.
Well, yellow card it's been, and the free kick is taken by Paul White. Goes long, looking for Richins, and it's flicked on by him, and Kelly's there, although there's another mix-up, and it's finally, I think, cleared away by the number 3. It is Kelly Evans battling. He's done well, and he's put it out for throwing. Suddenly the Stourbridge defence that were looking so solid and so unbreakable just in the last 5 minutes, certainly in the build-up to the first goal, and since, a little bit very shaky, haven't they? They've not looked comfortable with the ball going in and around the area. Great ball from Kelly in the meantime as Holman puts it forward, but it's cut out by one of the defenders and then unceremoniously up and under, out for a throw-in. But yeah, that defence is suddenly looking a little bit vulnerable.
They are, and it's all to do with momentum. The game has changed on a bit of wonder from Mr. Meikle, and the tails are up for Kettering, and Stourbridge tails are definitely down, and they're looking a little bit uncertain. What's going on? They're asking themselves.
I think they are as stunned as everyone else. I think they were stunned by the first goal and then all of a sudden got stunned by a second one as well. But
yep, it's the old 1-2. You do see, you know, our games can turn 2 quick goals, and that's exactly what's happened here this evening.
Exactly, and I'm sure they will have time to settle themselves down, though. We still haven't had half time, of course. I forgot to start the stopwatch, so I can't tell you exactly how long we've got left, but there will be, all I can say is there's some time. Ball down the line for Stourbridge. Kelly Evans is doing well, battling, he's done really well, and Richins gets rid of the ball. Holman, it's a good touch, he's kept it in play, but at the expense of possession, but it is in the Stourbridge half. Looks like there was some afters down there, but it's a throw-in for Kettering. The Kettering bench are unhappy with the linesman for not spotting something. So I must admit I was ball watching, I hadn't seen it, but...
no, I didn't see it either, but whatever it was, it involved Greg Mills again.
Yeah, and it's
on the far side there.
Darrell Berry as well, or Kelly Evans, one of the two, but the Kettering bench down here were incensed with something. But throw in for Kettering then. Kelly Evans, headed back towards him by a Stourbridge player. It's a heavy touch from him, but there's no one up front for Stourbridge, and Declan Towers brings it down. And then absolutely pummels it into the midriff of Kelly Evans, out for a throw-in. Not what he wanted, but Stourbridge do have a throw-in. They're getting that
smart a bit, that one.
Especially on a cold night. It's thankful it didn't hit a thigh on a cold night like this. And that's they're never nice ones. But here comes Stourbridge on the far side. It's a ball in. It's cut out by Berry, but he's put it out for a corner. He meant to kick it the other way, and it's come off his boot and gone behind him.
Yeah, it's a golf pilot. That was a definite slice, almost a shank actually off the foot. And
flop shot, I think, wasn't it? Flop shot? Is that something?
It is, but not, it wasn't a flop shot. It was more a shank.
I don't know golf. Corner for Stourbridge is low, should be headed out. Is headed out by Kelly Evans. And it's with Holman, he's holding it up inside his own half. Plays a cross-field ball towards Marcus Kelly. It's a great ball, who lays it off to Ben Milnes. Ben Milnes, can he return it to Kelly? He has done. Marcus Kelly's got a bit of space. He's got some accompaniment now. And it's gone into the midriff of the Stourbridge player, but it's only found Ben Milnes. Ben Milnes to Lyndon Meikle. Shoot, say the crowd. He's put a ball in instead. He's offside, but it'll be... Oh, he's given the offside. I thought the referee would have just allowed the goal kick to carry on, but it's an offside anyway. But there's 1 minute of additional time for the end of this first half. I think what we're going to do is we are going to take a break at half time rather than go down to the studio or do anything like that. We'll just, I think, gather our thoughts after that first half, I think.
Yep, I'm going to gather a cup of tea, I know that much.
Yeah, I think we'll go in the warm as well for a few minutes. But rest assured, we will be back in just over 15 minutes time to bring you the second half of this top of the table clash, which Kettering are currently leading 2-1 after a penalty for Stourbridge got the visitors underway, and then one of the goals of the season for Lyndon Meikle got Kettering level, and then Michael Richins puts the home side ahead. O'Connor is incensed that Stourbridge have got a free kick for that because the linesman wasn't budging. The referee, who was about 30-40 yards away, is given that decision, and O'Connor and the rest of the Kettering team are apoplectic with rage.
There's a lot of arm waving going on. It seemed to be something of nothing, but the defender falls down, gets the free kick. So
that's what we said in the first half. Well, earlier in the first half, sorry. It's one of those that probably isn't a foul, but always seem to get given as one. The free kick has been taken. It's stayed in on that far side. Towers has got to deal with it. Hooks over his head again. Stays in play. That's going to be a Kettering ball as Richins puts it high over the stand, and now it's a throw-in, but it won't matter because it's half-time, and it is at the half. Kettering Town 2, Stourbridge 1. I think we can say exciting start, boring middle, exciting end. I think that's a very good description, Ed. I really do. Couldn't sum it up any better myself. And a wonderful, wonderful goal for the Kettering Town fans to have a look on with our highlight package, because that was a fantastic strike from Lyndon Meikle. It's going to take some beating for goal of the season. I mean, we've seen some good goals already. Ben Milner's free kick comes immediately to mind. Ben Toteland's the other week as well. That effort. But I certainly think that's going to rank up there with probably one of, and it's going to take a lot of beating. So far, that's my goal of the season. But we will take a 15-minute break whilst we rest our voices, rest our legs, and probably get a cup of tea and warm up. But join us again in about 15 minutes for the second half, live at Latimer Park.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a half-time presentation just being made to our shirt sponsor, Brian, from B&M Pallets. So Brian Martin, on behalf of B&M Pallets, we thank you very much for your continued support. And Cyril Ginger is just going to present the signed shirt to Brian now. I'm sure you all agree, without Brian, we won't be where we are today. So many thanks, Brian, for your continued sponsorship. Okay, today's Klondike is been drawn by Brian. So it's for £170. Have you got ticket number 0170? That's 0170. You've won £170. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, I was given the wrong number for the Klondike. It is actually 1070. That's 1070 for £170. Half-time scores in our league is Banbury 1, AFC Royston 0, Bedworth 1, Tamworth 1, Halesowen 0, Barwell 1, Lowestoft 0, Royston 0, and St Neots 0, Needham Market 1.
time in the FA Cup, Distillery 0, Chesterfield 1. Bradford 0, Aldershot 0. Charlton 1, Mansfield 0. Cheltenham 0, Ebbsfleet 0. Crawley 0, Southend 2. Doncaster 5, Chorley 0. FC Halifax 1, Morecambe 0. Forest Green 0, Oxford United 1. Oxford City 0, Tranmere 2. And Slough 0, Sutton 1. And Scotland are 2-0 up against 2-1 up against Israel. welcome Neil out to the pitch for the second half. Class, welcome the Poppies out for the second half. Go on, you Reds!
Well, welcome back to Latimer Park. The teams are back out and going through their warm-ups again. And we're all still just about recovering from that goal in the first half. It absolutely rocked Latimer Park. A few of the neighbours will be woken up after that one. And rightly so. Kettering, of course, here leading 2 goals, 2-1. Stourbridge scored first with a penalty. Before Richens doubled the lead. Oh, sorry, doubled the goals scored for Kettering to put Kettering into the lead. The Stourbridge management still speaking with the referee as they come out for the second half. They feel there's some unfair calls. They think they've got a point with the second goal. They say that Richens fouled the defender. Nothing given though, and it stood, and it made it 2-1. And suddenly everyone just seems that little bit happier around Latimer Park. Well, apart from the Stourbridge team and the few fans that have travelled, they've done well. Stourbridge brought a few fans with them. Certainly made a good bit of noise in the first half as well. So they may continue. It looks like the referee again quite jovially counting up the players, making sure that no one snuck on an extra player. I've never seen it done, and I don't think anyone will get away with it anyway, but they still count it up anyway. Both goalkeepers ready, both assistant referees ready,
Gladiators ready,
contestants ready, and away we go for the second half. Stourbridge start early and play a ball out towards the right hand side, and that's the first time I've ever seen that actually work, and then it subsequently doesn't, as the ball's put out of play from a block with Marcus Kelly. A lot of work going on over that far side, and Stourbridge come forward again. They're going to want to look to start quickly, but they won't do, as they've just clipped the ball out of play harmlessly for a Kettering throw-in. Deep inside the Kettering territory though, so they're going to have to work a lot to get the ball away. Throw-in then taken by Nathaniel Rowe-Turner. Richens gets an unconventional head on it, but forward comes Stourbridge again. Rowe-Turner, oh what a challenge, Nathaniel Rowe-Turner, strong, well timed. And Kettering bring the ball away. It's with Marcus Kelly who gives the ball away, and Richens is going to be booked. Well, Stourbridge wanted the advantage. It wasn't given, and I think Richens will probably go in the book for that. It was very late.
Yeah, he dived in there, and I think Michael Richens knows what's coming here. Especially because the train is now coming on. But there'll be another skate. It's going to be an early Christmas card. I think the second one of the day.
Or is it? He's getting a talking to, Michael Richens. He's not booked him.
Wow.
Well,
that was
lucky.
Michael Richens. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, the one that Stourbridge got on the first half was nowhere near the.
But Michael Richens gets booked for challenges nowhere near as bad as that, you know.
Also very true. So he's got away with that one. There seems to be, yeah, it seems to be quite a jovial spirit between the managers. But the management team for Stourbridge not so jovial with the linesman, who is miles away, couldn't possibly influence the referee's decision from where he is, but has got the unfortunate job of being dug outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Senior linesman has to deal with the dugouts as well, I'm afraid.
The Stourbridge player is going to go off, and he's going to have to go off because it wasn't a buckle offence that led to the challenge, so he has to go off the pitch.
Does indeed. Rules
So
of
it's
the game.
much more than just not a booking for Michael Richards. It means that Stourbridge are going to be a man down for this free kick. It's a good position though for Stourbridge. They could swing one in from the right hand side of their attack. Of course, they're kicking towards the Tin Hat in this second half, not something we often see. That's a free header. Oh, and Paul White doesn't collect it, and it's cleared away. And eventually hooked away by Lyndon Meikle. Is Milnes going to get there? Milnes does, and well, he's put that straight out for a throw in. Show why he's not left-footed, Ben Milnes.
Early scare again though. Benbow, I think it was, getting in, causing a little bit of a havoc in the Kettering defence, but we survived that one. But an early warning.
Chance in, it's cleared away by Towers. Again, out for a throw-in, pretty much where it was taken from. In that middle of the three stands, if you've been to Latimer Park, you'll know what we're talking about. The one with Kettering Town Football Club across the top of it, the blue metal structure. Long ball headed away by Berry and then completed by Kelly. Ball, really high, and it should be Kelly's. Evans, sorry. Brought down on this near side by the left back, and it's not a bad ball down the line there for the goal scorer, but it's just pinging off the turf, isn't it? Every bounce seemed to take it that little bit further away from the number 11. And well, it looks like there's an issue here for Kettering.
Subtime.
Yeah, and Darrell Berry's, Kelly Evans is down, and he's back up again, but the trainer's already been called on, so I think they're going to make the substitution anyway. Gary Storer's getting ready to come on.
I think it was probably something that was reported at half time, because it was almost as though they were sort of half expecting it. Having said that, Gary Storer is certainly not stripped off, so it's probably come a little bit earlier than they thought.
Yeah. Well. Gary Storer is struggling to get his trackies off. There we go. Kelly Evans off, Gary Storer on, and of course the linesman has to make sure that his undershorts are right, his studs are correct, he's got no rings on his fingers, and his hair's the right length, and there's not excessive facial hair, and whatever the linesman check these days for players coming onto the pitch.
Seemed to take a long time, that check.
It did, didn't it? And it's going to be Gary Storer straight in to take the throw in as well. So Storer on, Kelly Evans off, under instruction from the physio, although he's not getting really any attention down here. He's just sat there with a jacket on. Holman, couldn't quite find O'Connor. That's a high ball again. Towers wins the header. Richards does well enough, clears down the line. He's kept it in play as well. And there's going to be a race on here. And O'Connor's got there first. He's got no one in the centre, though. He's got Holman behind him. Now here's Dan Holman. Holman lays it off to Meikle, who shoots. Oh, it was always going wide, but it made the keeper worry a little bit. And it was one of those shots that was slow, but angled dangerously. And the keeper was certainly worried for a few moments.
Yeah, that was a guider. Tried to guide it into the bottom corner, but you could tell from where we were that it was always going wide when the keeper, I think, knew it was going wide of the post as well, because there wasn't much of an attempt to go down to save it. But yeah, that's the first bright spark for Kettering of the half. So that's good to see.
A head injury as Towers goes down from that aerial challenge. And they're calling for some help on, and the referee was quite urgent about that, actually. So
yeah, definitely one in
maybe
the head.
some blood, maybe. Certainly asked for very quickly. Looks like Stourbridge are going to make a substitution. Not yet, but I wonder whether there's a blood injury for Declan Towers with the speed at which the referee called the sports physio on. I think Stourbridge will make their substitution now, which they are doing.
Limping off.
Yep, and it's 5. It's Amis Christophilou. So I can't pronounce it, and I haven't got a team sheet up here, but it's something close to that.
Yes.
And
I think he's from Cyprus.
Yes, yes, and it's the number 16 coming on. So, still treatment going on for Declan Towers on the centre of the park. They've not got him off the pitch yet. He's on his feet though, and he's bent over.
He's doing the old wiping something away with his sleeve around his face.
Yeah, he's going to have to go off the pitch because it was stopped for the head injury, and if it's a blood injury, he's going to have to be checked by the linesman before he comes back on again. He's still bent double. He walked a couple of steps and he's still bent double. Now he's being led off, and I'm not too sure exactly what he's doing. I think the referee wanted to have a word with him, so he stopped and turned around rather than just listen to what he had to say. But he's going off the far side now, Declan Towers. No substitutions being readied, so he should be okay to carry on, although Luke Graham is out there making sure he's staying warm. And I think Rhys Honis is there. Oh, Richard Lavery, never change. Again, we can't repeat what he said.
We can't repeat it. It was very funny though.
But yeah, never change. Luke Graham has come back to the bench. Falls over, does the goalkeeper, but he's actually done a really good ball there. Ball down the line. Kettering are obviously a centre half short, and Stourbridge are going to try and use it. That's never a penalty. That's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. And the Stourbridge player is livid. He's chasing after the referee. It was the goal scorer. I'll be honest. I didn't think that was a penalty.
No, I think Mills was looking for the challenge and went down without the challenge, and to me that was a yellow card for diving.
The only thing
He should be off.
Well, if the referee has deemed it a dive, it should be, and I wonder whether he's not wanting to make that decision. But the other thing is that the referee's deemed there's contact, but not enough to constitute a foul, and he's gone down a little bit easy, but it's technically not a dive because there's some contact. It's the only other thing I can really think of is Kettering get the ball forward. O'Connor is fouled, edge of the box. O'Connor tried to get through 2 players, got bundled over. O'Connor, a little bit naughty, asking for a yellow card there. If it's been picked up by the referee, he may... Oh, I think that's what it was, yeah.
The linesman was like a statue.
He was. There's still talks going through between Paul White, Darrell Berry and the Stourbridge number 9. Not happy. And I know Paul White was conversing with some Stourbridge fans as well behind the goal. But it looks like this is a good position for Kettering. It is the right-hand side of the D, where the D meets the box. Go about 5 yards to the right and about another 4 back. That's where the ball is. And it's going to be Kelly. It suits a left footer so much, doesn't it? Ben Milnes has actually left it for Kelly as well. That's how much it suits a left footer. You'd expect Ben Milnes to be at least looking for it, but he's actually left it. Massive gap. Kelly.
And he did get tempted into to skipping along his line like some of the goalkeepers do, anticipating the free kick to go into the other side. So it amounted to nothing in the end, unfortunately.
Interestingly, Declan Towers still not on the pitch, still getting treatment over there from the physio. So Kettering is still down to 10 currently. Is Roe Turner to Meikle, back to Roe Turner. Now to Richards, who's filling in at centre half at the moment, who sprays a ball out wide right. That's nowhere near any Kettering players, but the header's poor, and O'Connor's there. I think it's a cross-come shot as he tried to put it into Holman's run. Marcus Law unhappy with how long it's taking for Towers to be
I can only imagine he's got a bleed and it's just not stopping it at the moment.
Could be that. That's a poor ball behind number 3 and gives us a lot of time as Paul White leaves that. Marcus Law's unhappy that the referee sent Towers over the far side when it's a blood injury, when all of the kit is over here. You really do. It really is an insight standing here above the dugouts as to what goes on. But he's got a point, Marcus Law, actually, because all of the physio's kit and everything, all the extended kit is over here, and the referee's told Declan Towers with a blood injury to go the far side, so the physio can only work with what she's got over there. And like you say, if the bleed's not stopping, they probably won't have anything in the little holdall that they carry on.
Nope. No, they've got reinforcements over there now, obviously taking the stuff round, so hopefully that's going to do the trick and we can get a result. But yeah, Kettering playing quite a few minutes now, down with 10 men.
Oh, and there's a chance here, and Stourbridge could be through, but Paul White's out very quick and smothers the ball. He wants to come on. Declan wants to come on. He's calling. He's still calling on. Still calling on. Still calling on, but he can't come on until the referee's checked him. That's the issue. That's the issue. The referee with a blood injury has to check the player before he comes back on. But there could be a chance for Stourbridge here as they're through 1-on-1. 2-2. Kettering are livid. Absolutely livid. Marcus Law and Lavery are livid. Absolutely livid.
Why has he sent them over there? Tell me the logic. This is where all the kicks is. Why? Why? Blood injury, we send on the wrong side. Why?
Linesman's not answering Marcus Law. Kettering are, the bench are as livid, I think, as I've ever seen this side.
Yeah, it's just bad referee. Bad referee to send him across the far side for a blood injury. As you say, he has to be checked before he comes back on. And of course, being on the far side, there's no linesman to be able to say that he's okay. And Marcus Law will be arguing that that's cost Kettering a goal there.
Oh yeah, Kettering, of course, were playing with 10 men. Aaron O'Connor, oh, he can't get the ball through to Holman. And it's cleared. Richards cuts it out, but it's Stourbridge who have got the ball. Great challenge from Richards. Great challenge. Fantastic challenge. And this, well, this is absolutely bedlam on the bench now.
It's called a tackle.
It's absolutely...
Fuck off, it's a fucking brilliant tackle. Piss off. Sit the fuck down. Piss off. Fuck off, sit down. Not him, him. Sit down. He can sit down. Not you. Not you. Not you. I've got no problem with you. Him. No problem with you. Him. No problem with you. No problem with you. Alright. No. No.
Well, this bench, well, both benches are absolutely livid. Both benches are just not having anything.
Unfortunately, it's all through the referee's action that's caused flashpoints now in this half, and it's probably only going to increase as the half goes on now.
Well, this is certainly turning into a feisty encounter.
Once again, that twat costs me. Every fucking game he does here.
Berry has the ball. We'll get back to some football. Anyway, Milnes puts the ball down the line. No one there for Kettering. And Stourbridge clear the ball long, and it's going to be held up, but it's a long shot. That's not a bad effort at all, and it's gone over the bar. Paul White, don't know whether he had it covered, but it was off target. Anyway, goal kick. Paul White to take. Oh, we're getting a little bit too interested in what's going on down here as well, actually.
I was going to say, it's very
actually
tasty, shall we say.
More tasty than on the pitch at the moment.
The trouble is, it's been a distraction for Kettering in more ways than one, because Stourbridge, are, not only got the goal now, their tails are up.
I don't know whether it's a distraction for Kettering. I don't know. I've not played football 11-a-side for many years, but do you really take much notice of what's going on your sidelines as a player on the pitch?
I think when you've got a player ready to come back on again.
Oh yes, obviously.
Which
That's
was
a foul.
the case.
It's going in the book. Now it's Stourbridge's time for the bench to come out and berate the referee. Well, it's backwards and forwards on the pitch, and it's now backwards and forwards on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Stourbridge's turn to have a go at the linesman this time.
It is very much backwards and forwards, isn't it?
But Kettering just need to calm down on the pitch, let alone off it, and start playing some football again. And here's the free kick coming in from Ben Mills, swung to the far post, but over the head of Michael Richins. That will drift out for a goal kick.
So, this goal kick may give everyone a time to calm down, but and it's one of those cases really where the bench have got away with saying a lot to the referee. A lot of referees would have put a stop to that very early, but
I think the referee knows he's being a bit of a Horlicks. That's the reason why he's probably not taking a stronger line with the bench, to be honest. As they say, the truth hurts. O'Connor, though, now running forward into the left wing position to Marcus Kelly, tries a little flick back. But hoofed away from the centre half at Stourbridge, back to a Kettering throw. On the far side, the middle stand. And I think it's going to be Roe Turner who gets the ball to throw. Inside for Lyndon Meikle, forward from Roe Turner. Cleared away from Stourbridge, hoisted into the night air from Declan Towers. Holman trying to get the ball under control and does so. But then loses out and the ball breaks to Benbow, tries a little flick, uses his power, running centrally now forward to Greg Mills on the left wing, has a run at Gary Storer, beats him for pace, cross is coming in, oh dangerous cross. And it was Darrell Berry that did well to not concede an own goal on that cross. But Stourbridge still keeping the pressure up. Another cross coming in, but that's a harmless one that will drift away for a Kettering goal kick.
Well, yes. Still, Mark is still unhappy with this blood injury. The linesman's not giving him an answer, though. That's the problem. Who'd be a lino, eh? And that ball's gone all the way through to Paul White. It's one of those where you go, actually, I don't want to be the senior linesman. Get someone more senior than me. I'll be the junior one over on the far side. Have a nice easy job. Oh, and that's a heavy touch from Marcus Kelly. It may have allowed Stourbridge through, although Kettering have just got back and Storer brings it down on his chest. He's got a lot of time. He's got few options, which he's not used any of them, but he's gone to Meikle, who's given the ball straight away. And Kettering have gone back to their sloppiness in the first half a little bit, although that was good as Roe Turner tries to ping a ball to O'Connor. It's nowhere near him, and away comes Stourbridge, and a long ball from the goalkeeper. Towers hits into the ground, and Stourbridge coming forward again, still coming. It's with the number 9 who shoots but slips, loses his footing as he hits it, and it results in a tame shot at Paul White, who collects and bowls to Berry. Berry to Richins. Richins, good ball out to Storer. Oh, slightly overrun it, but he's got there in the end, Storer. Facing up the left back. Gary Storer twisting, turning, lays off to Lyndon Meikle, the scorer of that fantastic first goal. He's put the ball through to Ben Milnes, and it's half a yard, if that, too far. Kettering are going to make a substitution here, and it's going to be Rhys Onus coming on. It's going to be Ben Milnes. That's his last contribution for the game, is unable to get on the end of that pass. And there's going to be a substitution for Stourbridge as well.
Yep, the linesman's going to be busy again. Senior linesman.
Senior linesman.
I think he gets an extra £10 expenses or something, does he?
But again, this is a point. Kettering aren't ready for the substitution. Neither is Stourbridge, in the greatest of respect. Neither players are actually ready. But there's no one actually coming off yet. We stopped the game for the substitutions and nothing's actually happening. There we go. Ben Milnes coming off. And Rhys Honus injects some danger, some peril into the Kettering attack. And it's going to be the number 7 for Stourbridge.
Yeah, I think this is the first competitive, first team match, as it were, that Rhys Honus has not started this season. So he'll be thinking, okay, big game like this, and I didn't start. I'm going to come on, and I'm going to show you.
He's got a chance, hasn't he?
Yeah,
here
absolutely.
To do something we know what he can do.
Oh yes,
win penalties mainly, and a lot of them clear cut. If he twists and turns and goes through a couple of defenders, we've seen it so many times, the defenders just aren't quick enough to deal with his feet, and they lunge into a challenge and they just leave that leg for him to fall over. It's an invitation, really. Kettering will need some of that magic tonight. It's 2-2 though. It's not disastrous for Kettering, but they were leading in this game, so it will be a source of frustration for them, especially in the circumstances surrounding Stourbridge's second, and there could be a third here. It's on the left-hand side of the box. It's the number 10, is it? He's twisting, turning. He's got himself into a little bit of trouble, but he's managed to get out of it. Ball goes in, cleared away, and then helped on by Kelly, but it's going to be Stourbridge's still. They're back with their back line, and Holman's trying to be a nuisance, but he can't get enough on it. But he didn't need a nuisance there, as the Stourbridge player forgets what size football he's playing with and puts his foot straight over the top of it, and it's out for a throw-in.
I think with Rhys Honus coming on, it's a very attacking lineup now. We've still got the two centre forwards in play. I think Honus is going to, he just moved forward into one of those spots at the moment, so it's going to be interchangeable between Holman and Honus for the actual centre forward spot. So we've got attacking midfielders, Meikle and Kelly as well. So it could get interesting.
Yeah, Honus lets Gary Storer down the line. Aaron O'Connor's made the run. He's not used him. Goes through the centre to Lyndon Meikle, who's clipped. Then he's clipped. Advantage, says the referee. Honus puts the ball in. It's cleared away though. Storer's going to have to battle for this one. He's done really, really well. Shoulder to shoulder, both of them. Ish. And Towers brings the ball away. Meikle's got a little bit of time, not much space. Great balls through to Aaron O'Connor. Great first touch from Aaron O'Connor. Good block. Lays it off to Marcus Kelly. Kelly, Holman. Holman shoots. Go!
Oh! It's 3-2.
Dan Holman. 2 league games, 2 league goals. Well, it was slow, methodical build-up play for Kettering, wasn't it? They had one chance, it didn't go. Honus then had the chance, it didn't go. And instead of just panicking and trying to shoot, O'Connor maybe could have tried a half shot, didn't. Took his time, played it to Kelly. Kelly couldn't get anything away, and rather than pummeling it a goal, took his time, found Holman, who then had all the time in the world, and it's a really good finish across goal.
It certainly was. Bottom corner from Holman. No chance at all for the goalkeeper. And as you say, it was patient, good build-up play. And it had the quality at the end to put the ball in the back of the net. Fantastic.
Everyone's done very well there. Very, very well. Marcus Law and the first goal scorer for Stourbridge having a discussion. I didn't actually see who got the second goal for Stourbridge. There was a lot of things happening off the pitch that was clouding our judgment. I looked round and saw the ball in the back of Kettering's net, so I do apologise for that one. So, Gary Storer with the throw-in, halfway inside his own half. Down the line, Richards doesn't win it. And it's going to fall for the Stourbridge player who tries a long ball. Rowe Turner's underneath it, heads it. No one's there for Kettering in the centre of the park at the moment. Towers heads it back again. A bit of head tennis going on. nodded down. Good cushioned header that, but it's good, strong work from Marcus Kelly. And that's a hopeful ball forward from Kettering. Wasn't really getting anything, but he's managed to get something through Richins, though. Richins sprays the ball left. Has he just gone too much for Kelly? No, he hasn't. Really well done for Kelly. Kelly, that's a high ball in. O'Connor's going to look interested. He doesn't get there. Stourer's going to look interested. He takes a touch, cuts it onto his left foot, but loses the ball, and there could actually be a counter-attack here. Richins breaking. Richins breaking. Still breaking Richins. And Tower's done really well, and it's going to be a throw-in for Stourbridge right down by the corner flag. Richins, there was a few shots to take the foul for Richins. He didn't. He just stood his ground and waited for Towers to come over and help him out. And it is a throw-in, and like I say, it's right down in that corner flag. It's actually been taken a few yards further back than where it was. It's a Kettering throw-in. Kettering wanted a free kick. It come off the hand of the Stourbridge player, but in that position from that distance away, it's an accidental handball, isn't it?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Headed up, brought down by Stourbridge, is it? It's still bouncing around. Meikle gets it to Storer, who clears down the line only to the number 3, and Holman's back, gets the toe in, puts it straight into the away dugout for a throw in for Stourbridge. Oh yeah, the feet were very close to being over the line there. He adjusted himself, the Stourbridge man. It's not gone. It's not gone. It's not gone. Apparently it has gone. Kettering was still playing on, but
I didn't think it had gone. We had a good view of it.
Gone, but it's a
senior linesman said otherwise.
Well, that's why he's the senior linesman. A ball switch for Stourbridge. There's a lot of space here for the substitute. Goes through 2, and Meikle does enough and cleared away by Berry. Kettering currently seem to be set up a little bit, batten down the hatches from a little bit of pressure from Stourbridge. No, they've got their shape back a little bit now, and Berry does well enough to stoop and get that header out for a throw-in. There was a lot of players behind the ball for Kettering, but they've now regained their shape and a little bit of composure. Throw-in taken by Stourbridge on that far side. Laid off, put down the channel on the right-hand side. Twists, turn. Good challenge, Roe Turner. Another throw-in right down by the corner flag for Stourbridge. This is, in rugby terms, it's good possession, isn't it? It's in the right area of the pitch, and they're getting line-outs, I guess.
Yes, yes, they do have line-outs.
Possession game, isn't it? But, throw-in taken. Chested down, back to the throw-in taker. Triangles going over. They're not really getting anywhere with it. Stourbridge try and nip the ball through, and they've got a chance. And it's twisting, turning, and Richins clears off the line. I think Paul White had it covered, but he manages to clear it. Oh, Honus is miles offside. Now he's back on, though, and there could be a chance. And that's a dangerous ball. And Holman got a man on, but he didn't get the shout, I don't think. And there could be a chance for Stourbridge to attack. Holman's back doing a defensive duty, but he's not got anything there. It's out towards the number 11, who's on the left-hand side. Storer's out in company. Ball goes in, headed away by Berry. Storer releases Dan Holman on the right-hand side, and there's a race here with the number 3, who's... Oh, sorry, it's the number 11 who's got back really well, actually, to cover him. Really quick. Holman floats the ball towards Honus. That's a really good ball. It's half a yard to a yard too close, and Honus keeps it from going for a goal kick. And there's going to be a throw-in right in that corner. That's
another line out right in the far corner.
It is. It's good play from Kettering now. And it was a really good ball from Holman. Like I say, it was maybe a yard too far forward for Honus, but right area.
Penned in now, I think.
Right, finally got the ball out, but it was a clearance. Good header from Berry, but it's straight to another Stourbridge player who try and play it forward. No one's there. Storer hits long. Holman's looking for it. Jumped a little bit early, but second ball drops to Richins. He's in the centre of the park. Shoot, says the crowd. We know he can do it, Michael Richins. Now it's Kelly on this right-hand side. Kelly and Meikle switched wings again. Kelly, Richins, man on. Takes a touch. Out to his right. O'Connor's there. Storer's on the overlap. Doesn't use either of them. O'Connor slips it through to Kelly. Kelly still has the ball. He's stopped it completely. Lays it to O'Connor. O'Connor, heavy touch. Storer, it's half a yard, but it has fallen to Kelly. He shoots! Oh, good save! Low to his right goalkeeper. Meikle on the edge of the box. Still working options though. He tries to loft it into the corner for Storer. Is Storer going to keep that on? No, it's not. The bounce has taken it away from him. Goal kick it is, but good chance from Kelly. It's one of those, he's put it across, he's got it on target, but it's also there for someone to knock in as well, and the goalkeeper's made a really good save.
Yeah, he did well actually, the goalkeeper, to be fair to him. As you say, he parried away with a strong hand to stop a chance of Hoeneß on the back post coming in to get the rebound. And it's the final change for Stourbridge.
Benbow, isn't it, the number 10 coming off, and 12 coming on for them. Again, apologies, we don't have access to a team sheet. The printer broke about 5 minutes before kickoff. Oh, sorry, Benbow's number 9. It wasn't Benbow then. It was just the number 10. 701 the attendance here today. Great attendance for a Tuesday night, and they have been treated to an absolute humdinger of a game. That ball's going to go straight through to the goalkeeper, though. It really has been an entertaining game of football. As the ball goes long forward from the goalkeeper. Oh, it's been left for Paul White, and I tell you what, that was not routine at all. So he just managed to get there. Towers clears long over the back line. No, it's not. It's headed, and Hoeneß there. Hoeneß, O'Connor. Oh, Hoeneß wanted it back. O'Connor probably should have given him it, because that pass towards Marcus Kelly was less than... It looks like he kicked the ground, actually. Ball goes forward for Stourbridge again. Challenge that from... Who has impressed me recently is Darrell Berry's transition from right back to... and Kelly Evans has taken that, and in order to stay in the team, he's been moved into that centre back position. And of course, Kettering started the season with 3/5 at the back, and he transitioned to either side of the back three, and he's actually done really well as a centre half. He's not the tallest or strongest, Darrell Berry, but his positioning is very good, and he, as I say, he's very much like a sweeper. He's there milling around and picking up anything that might be loose, and actually I think he's done really well so far this season.
Yeah, he's got great defensive awareness about Darrell Berry, so he's not the tallest, but he obviously communicates well. He's got the art of defending, there's no doubt about that, and as you say, to go from right back to the middle of a centre three and centre halves, and now back to a back four and still keeping his place, he must be doing something right.
That's good from Holman down to Kelly. Kelly's in a spot of trouble down there, and he's going to win a throw-in at least. He is going to win a throw-in because the linesman's flagged for it. The referee hadn't seen it, but I'd called it as soon as he'd flagged it. The referee took a few moments to twig on. But it's a throw-in for Kettering, which they will happily take as Roy Turner picks up the ball. Can't be much longer left of the second half. Again, no stopwatch, but we've had a long old second half. It certainly feels like it with the amount of action we've had.
Yeah, there's been a fair bit of incident, both on and off the pitch, to keep us entertained this evening at Latimer Park. But
it's fair to say the officials haven't really made friends with either bench, have they?
No, they haven't. I don't think the referee will be getting a season's greetings from either bench after the game either.
When they make a bad decision for one team, they instantly override it with a bad decision for the other. The viewpoints of the benches. But long clearance, battle there. Berry gets something on it, I think, and Meikle's still battling, but he's not going to get there. Advantage played for Stourbridge. There was a little tug back on the halfway line. Now on the right hand side now. Ball put in low, cut out by Berry again. And the ball's released for Gary Storer, who puts the ball down the line, but he's tried to bend it, hasn't he? But it's come off the top of his boot rather than the side of it, and it's just gone straight. And the linesman can't even do that right in the eyes of the Kettering. He's inadvertently stopped the ball and allowed them to gain a bit of time back, Stourbridge. Oh, when it's going wrong, it's going wrong, isn't it? Pushing the back says no, the referee on Holman. Out to this left-hand side. Good work from Towers. Oh, all Kettering players just stopped and looked at that one. And there could be a chance for Stourbridge as the number 9 is on the right-hand side. He may shoot. I think he does, but it's straight down Paul White's throat. Takes it, brings it into his chest and falls to the ground to make sure. And I think there's going to be a last substitution. It's going to be Brett Solkin on. shoring up the defence, possibly.
Yeah,
as,
I think it's a bit too open for Marcus's liking, to be honest. In the midfield, there's big gaps, and I think he's going to be bringing on Brett at the next opportunity to fill those gaps.
And it looks like it's going to be Dan Holman, the man coming off for Kettering. So yes, a very much striker for defensive-minded midfielder. Oh, look at Roe Turner, he's breaking forward, still going. No, it's not a foul. It's just run into trouble there, and the gap that he's vacated has caused problems, and Berry puts the ball out of play unceremoniously for a throw-in. That the substitution will be done now, and Holman, the man, going off. He got the third goal. Will it be crucial? Will it be the deciding goal? We're yet to see, but he got it, and it was a really, really good finish, and now his race is run for the experience and the defensive nous of Brett Salkin. But very good performance from Dan Holman, and a very fine goal to cap it off as well.
Yeah, you can see that just from the finishing quality that he's got, that he's played at a higher level, and you know, it was a decent chance, but you know, to bury it like that in the bottom corner was fantastic, really was.
Honus lays it back to Salkin. His first job is to try and turn the defence round, and he's nearly got away with that one, Salkin. There's a bit of a mix-up between the two centre halves. Man on to Richins, and the ball is now clear. Barry's doing really well, claiming he's being tugged back twice now, and he eventually gets the ball away and flicked on by Meikle, who got an important touch on that because it was going to fall to the central midfielder. Straight out Meikle, causing some problems. But here's the number 3 still breaking forward, and it's cleared away, and Kelly turns on it. He's not really got an option to look at. Stora's got a man on. Stora's got to do something with this. Clips it down the line. It's not enough on it, and it's easily headed away. That ball's clipped down the line for Stourbridge. That's a better one from them as it's brought down. That's with the number 11. It's facing up Gary Storer. Goes inside Gary Storer. Crosses towards no one, but they might be able to recycle this. That's a catch and throw in. Roe Turner's done so well to time that slide tackle and come across and get enough on it, and actually won the throw in off the the Stourbridge player as well. I don't think that was his main intention, but he's done really well to do it. Yeah, we won't mention what.
He'll take his time as well with the throw.
He's got no choice, as the fan who threw it back to him threw it about 20 yards away from him. I don't think he's got much of a choice. Roe Turner, long down the line, flicked on by Salkin, brought down by Meikle, is it? It is, and he's still going into Meikle. Reverse ball, oh, he just couldn't squeeze it past the defence. And Stourbridge have yet another chance to come forward. It's very much Stourbridge throwing everything at this now, and why shouldn't they? Return ball down the line. Towers is over dealing with it, puts the ball out of play, out of the ground and onto pitch 2. Richards gets the man of the match performance. He's had a very good game.
Yeah, he's had an
Meikle's up there,
industrious game.
Berry's up there. Oh, it's good clearance away. Shot blocked by Kelly, who's also had a good game.
Yeah, good clearance from Berry as well. He's probably my man of the match in defence tonight.
It's strange again that you see a defence that concedes 2 goals, and you've actually got a defender there that you could very easily give man of the match to. I think Darrell Berry's been fantastic, as he has been all season, but there could still be a chance here. Oh, and he's ballooned it over. Well, that was a chance for Stourbridge. It was laid off for him, and all he had to do was get it on target, and he's got underneath it.
Yeah, half
Gary
chance
Gray,
on the edge of the box. Ballooned over, fortunately for Kettering's point of view. The Kettering fans now trying to...
Still drama on the touchline. We could do a Netflix show and just do a camera focused on the touchline.
It's like the Sopranos at times down here.
Game of Thrones, I think, at the moment. Someone's head's going to be chopped off in a second. And I know who the main candidate is, judging by the conversations.
Yep.
Kelly can't quite get there. Solkin gets something on it. Good challenge from Richins. It's a throw-in for Stourbridge. And what? Well, the linesman's just told us that the referee's adding 6 minutes onto this end of this game. Honus has got the ball on in the touchline, lays it back to Meikle, who's got little time, space galore. This game is nowhere near over. Meikle still going. Meikle, reverse ball. Marcus Kelly on.
And it might very well be game, set and match.
Well, everyone stopped, wondered what Meikle was going to do. Was he going to pass it? Was he going to shoot? And what he does is he just plays a nonchalant little reverse ball through to Kelly. Onside, perfect run, takes a touch and just lofts it over the leg of the goalkeeper. Kisses its way in off the post. And it is now Kettering Town 4, Stourbridge 2. And it may very well be what Kettering needed to get all 3 points. There's still a lot of time to go, at least 6 minutes, but they will need 2 goals from Stourbridge to get anything from this game. And Kettering are showing at the moment just why they might be title contenders. Well, they are definitely title contenders, but why they might be title winners. This is I think we said 2 or 3 weeks ago, this is probably the biggest game so far of the season. It shows what Kettering are made of. And that goal might have just been the all-important catalyst to start Kettering on a run that could take them to the title. Still a lot of football to be played this season, though. Still a lot of football to be played this game as the 6 minutes goes up. So throw in for Stourbridge on the far side. Stourbridge have the ball. They could have a chance to get an early one back. They won't because the cross is overhit. Out of play for a goal kick. And Kettering will take their time on this one. Kettering Town fans singing, as they have done for the majority of the game actually. They've been a really good support this evening. And credit, the players on the pitch have responded to it and have certainly given them a show to enjoy. I mean, it's been fireworks on the pitch, it's been fireworks on the bench, it's been fireworks up here. Honestly, what more could you ask for? I've even forgotten about how cold it.
Yeah, that was a big bonus at the end, that goal for Kettering, and it just shows you they've got that creative quality about them that it didn't seem to be a lot on, but all of a sudden there was a lot on. A little ball through from Meikle. Marcus Kelly almost thought he might have been offside, but he wasn't, and slotted it past the goalkeeper. 4-2, and Kettering just need to see out the last 5 minutes.
Ball goes in, there's a chance for Benbow, he mishits it, and Richins shovels the ball out towards the halfway line. Brought down by Kelly, who plays the ball over the top. Didn't really get the purchase on it though, and sort of skewed it up. Stourbridge working on that far side. Not off to Turner out muscled, but he was there. But yet again, Michael Richins actually showing what he has. What a wonderful challenge that was. Throw in for Stourbridge down the far side, near the corner flag, on the right hand side of their attack, left hand side of Kettering's defence. Still with Stourbridge nodding the ball through. There could be a chance here. Richins making a nuisance of himself. That layoff is a little bit far behind, but there's a lot of space on this near side for the number 12. Could have a grandstand finish. Declan Towers didn't know where the ball's gone. Good kick from Aaron Lua. Has now just been told to get another one, which has been blazed about 50 yards further from where he was standing. Throw in taken quickly then. The number 3 twisting, turning, lays it off to the number 9, who lays it off to the number 6, who may shoot. He does. Shot blocked. Kelly twists, turns, was clipped, and gets a free kick for it, and Kettering will take that. No point playing the advantage there. Kettering will take the free kick. Marcus Law endearing himself to the Kettering fans. They did actually ask for a wave, and Marcus gave them a clap. Paul White then with the free kick. Long. Richards doesn't win it. Brought down by Kelly. Actually, I think he surprised himself with how well he brought it down. It sort of shocked him that he found it stick to his boot. Now it's with the number 11 on the left-hand side. He's got the number 3 coming with the overlap, but he tries to go past Storer himself. Good challenge from Storer. A little slip from Towers. Solkin may allow the ball to go there, but he's blocked another cross, Brett Solkin, and it's out for a throw-in on this near side. I don't know how much of the 6 we've had. Must have been at least half of it. The number 2 crosses in, cleared up and behind from Towers. Storer up for a throw-in. Stayed in the ground this time. And it's a throw-in taken quickly to the number 2. Now it's with the number 9 who passes it over. The 16 who came on in the second half. Now plays it out wide right. Bo Turner standing the play up. Slides in again, puts it behind for a corner, but another great challenge. I think actually Roton has got to be in the hat at least for man of the match. He's done really well today. He's been very committed, very strong, needed to be as well. But they've got a corner here, and if this was to go in, there may just be a minute or so where Stourbridge could cause some sort of minor nervousness in the Kettering ranks. There's 1 minute, I think, of the game left. Cleared away, headed back in. Solkin heads away again, and Meikle lets it run. He probably would have been better just putting his boot through it as a long shot goes in. That's over the bar. Paul White forward rolls. Will take the majority of this minute left to get the ball back for a goal kick, as the Kettering fans still chant. So that should be Kettering 3 points clear, with 2 games in hand over their nearest rivals, who are, of course, playing here today as well. Stourbridge, not for the want of trying though. There's not many teams that have put 2 past Kettering this season. In fact, I don't think there's any teams that have put 2 past Kettering this season, are there?
I was struggling to think that. There's in the wall.
I know, but it doesn't matter. That is the full-time score. Kettering Town 4, Stourbridge 2. They started first and second purely by goal difference. They finished first and second this time, with first place being 3 points further away. It all started, well, a little bit nervously for Kettering, as they gave away a penalty early on, and it was coolly dispatched by the number 11, and then a moment of fantasticness. Lyndon Meikle from all of 35 yards hit a peach. The dip on it was incredible, beat the goalkeeper into the top corner, and then just a couple of minutes after, Richards made it 2-1 before it was pegged back in the second half after controversy over Declan Towers being treated for a blood injury when Stourbridge equalised. It then fell to Dan Holman to put them 3-2 up, a great finish, and then Marcus Kelly to put the cherry on the icing on the top of the cake with a deft finish to secure all 3 points. I mean, the scoreline is about as mad as the game was.
Yeah, it was. And let's be honest about this. This is not the best performance that Kettering Town have played this season. But it was good enough, and it was better than the opposition could muster tonight, as dangerous as they looked at times. So I said they've got that quality going forward, that they can sort of create something from nothing. We've seen it with a wonder goal from Meikle, but the other two goals that we scored as well in the second half, all very patient play. You just got the feeling you get a quality player on, he's going to do something that's going to end with if not a goal, a good chance. And Kettering have proven that tonight, and they come away with a very impressive victory
and a big 3 points. There we have it then. We're going to join Cookie, and I think probably myself when I get down and thaw out a little bit, along with guests, management and player wise. But it's finished here up on the gantry and at Latimer Park. Kettering Town 4, Stourbridge 2. Back down to you, Cookie.
Make your friends again, ain't you?
I didn't say anything, John. I was on the mic.
There we go then. What a fantastic game of football that was. Kettering Town 4, Stourbridge 2. We did say pre-match it was either going to be a classic or it was going to be an anticlimax, and I think we got the classic match there indeed. The Poppies a goal down with for a penalty, but it came through in the second half with some fantastic performances from Kettering Town. It was probably the best two teams in the league played today, that is for sure. Certainly Stourbridge, we did think we were going to put up one hell of a fight. They did. And certainly the best team that I've seen beside Kettering Town this season here at Latimer Park and on my travels. We've seen one of the wonder goals of the season. We've seen a fantastic fight back from Stourbridge. We've also seen some superb attacking play by Kettering, and what has turned out to put Kettering Town 3 points ahead of Stourbridge with 2 games in hand. Who'd have thought that before last Friday when we had Royston as well. We've beaten the second place, we've beaten the third place team, and all things rosy in the Poppies camp. We do hope that we can get Marcus Law and one of the players in for an interview after. This will, of course, if you're listening to this, will be on our highlights package a little later. And that really has put a statement out to the rest of the league.
Oh, hasn't it just? I mean, that is, but I mean,
there's only one thing, and the only one of the whole game is when Declan Towers was actually off the pitch with a blood injury on the far side of the pitch, taking so long to get back into the game. And that's when Kettering conceded that equaliser.
There are two something like that. Of course, it's going to be left on the bench for them to do. It's a blood injury, so they need to come over here. And as Gary said on commentary, and you know, Kettering will argue that meant it took twice as long.
Let's not mar
that. Let's not, because
it was a fantastic performance by Kettering against a very, very good side indeed. Stourbridge, we said, Matt Spear and myself, that it was either going to be a classic or an anticlimax. We saw what they could do in the FA Trophy. This was a much better performance by Stourbridge. They looked a very, very decent team. They got a soft penalty perhaps early doors. They were looked to be the side on top at that moment, but then Kettering turned the accelerator pedal and away they went.
Yeah, it was a case of eventually they needed a kick up the backside, and suddenly it was foot on the acceleration pedal and all systems go. The penalty, I can see why the referee's given it. I do agree it's a little bit soft, but we probably would have been shouted for it if it was the other way. So I can, well, obviously not, no, but you know, it's one of those where you'd be disappointed if it wasn't given if you're the team claiming it, and vice versa. But, you know, I think Kettering did really well, because it's not very often they've good touching from a hole and ball across. But the second half was much more. We said on commentary, first half, great start, boring middle, great end. Second half was just fantastic, 100% football you can see. And I guess for the winners, it's an enjoyable win.
Marcus did say Saturday at Royston that he thought that Stourbridge had to come here for the win, and they certainly went out that way, didn't they? It was attacking performance by them. It was a good performance by them. Bembo in particular and Greg Mills.
I think that was, again, what we said on commentary was that the back and go for the draw. It was exactly what we wanted to see from two football teams. And, you know, it's a game where I envy Richard Atkinson, who edits the highlights, because it's a game that had absolutely everything. It's really, really enjoyable watch.
I said just before you came on, I think these are the two best sides that I've seen this season. Haven't seen the rest of the teams, but you know, there's sides that were supposed to be up there. Kings Lynn, Tamworth. I know Kings Lynn have made a resurgence in their league form since Culverhouse has returned. Tamworth, I thought, would be a decent side this season. They're not. But certainly Stourbridge, I did think pre-season would be one of the teams up there. And Kettering, of course, we always hope they're going to produce, and they have done. And I think really these are the two.
I think there were still a few things that Marcus and his backroom team will look at and maybe have a room for improvement on.
Well, there was a slip, wasn't there, for the equaliser, I think, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, that's not something you can work on.
Exactly.
It's you know, it's one of those things. We saw it the other week when we were down here. Who did we play? when we went 1-0 down. It was Kelly Evans who slipped on the halfway line, allowed them to go straight through.
King's Lynn.
Yes, it was. So, you know, it's... But, you know, there'll be a couple of things I think they'll be a little bit... maybe just look at for some improvement. But yeah, on the whole, you can't fault attacking play from Kettering. And actually, once they got their foot on the ball a little bit more, you can't blame the defence. And Richards, I think, was great value for man of the match.
Yeah, he's certainly come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he? I mean,
has.
He's put in some tremendous shifts. He's man of the match against Royston, and again tonight. He's that dynamo player we have now in the centre. Millsy was okay in the first half there, but certainly Richards has proven his worth, isn't he?
Yeah, and we said, I don't want to mention it again, how well positioning from a right back into this centre half position that he'd be playing this season. And, you know, I don't know how much work it's taken, also I don't know what position he's played before joining Kettering. He certainly joined us to be a right back, and since has moved into the centre of bully boys like Towers and Roe Turner. But he just sits behind and he mops up anything that comes through. And he's been a really, really good addition to the side. You can't fault anyone out there today, really. I mean, everyone's had a good game, bar a mistake or two. But, you know, that arguably, this is one of the best Kettering sides I've seen for a long time.
It certainly is. Kettering have conceded 8 goals in 13 matches. 3 of those have been penalties, and 4 of those have been conceded at home, and 2 teams have done that. 2 and Stourbridge with 2. It's a fantastic record, isn't it, really, with the clean sheets and the defensive qualities of this side. And against a Stourbridge side with that forward line who's equally as potent as Kettering.
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat cliched, and I guess people say it's simplifying football. But if the opposition don't score, they can't win. It's very much that simple. And, you know, Kettering are lucky that they've got the attacking qualities that they have to go on with the defensive qualities, because it's a case of if they can't score, they can't win. But if they concede more than us, then they're going to lose as well. And at the moment, Kettering aren't conceding and they're scoring. They've got nearly the perfect formula. And you know, it's still only 1 loss in the league this season. Like I say, 8 goals conceded in 13 games is incredible. You know, you're looking at just over a goal every game. This really is very, very promising. And we're still not that far into the season when you think about it. But we're already talking about this game being a pivotal game.
Because Kettering should win the 2 games in hand. That puts them 9 points clear. I mean, I know that's, you know, if they could win those 2 games in hand, but that puts them 9 points clear of Stourbridge, and then it puts them considerably larger in front of the other teams.
Yeah, but I mean, put it this way: even if, and I'm sure they won't, Kettering were to lose both games in hand, the fact of the matter is they would still be 3 points in front of Stourbridge. That's the main thing. That's why the 3 points were so important. Because if they'd drawn here after 2 games in hand, they would be level with Stourbridge, and possibly, depending on how much they'd lost, like, goal difference may have come into the equation. But you know, this win means that they are guaranteed 3 points ahead of Stourbridge with those games in hand. Obviously, if they keep up with Stourbridge's pace.
May I just say that we are waiting for one of the managerial team and possibly one of the players to come over to have a chat with us, so please stay with us. The door did go, but it was a shake. It's only our cameraman who's coming in with his box brownie. But we do hope that one of them will come over. I'm sure that they will. I'm sure they're having a few words over there in the changing rooms at the moment. But hopefully Marcus Law will come over and one of the players to give their thoughts. And of course, we can actually show Marcus the goals, which you will see on the highlights package a little later. There are a couple of the flicks, I think, on Twitter that we sort of got there for you, the first half. So you can see the wonder goal from Mr. Meikle, which was a 35-yard dream goal, wasn't it?
It was, and we've said when it took that little bobble before he hit it, we all thought, we knew where it was going. We all went, oh, that's going over the bar. It's harmless. It's jumped up, and it's going to be one of those where it's going to be a groan, and why is he shooting from 35 yards when we're 1-0 down, and it was never going to work. And as he hit it, we all still thought, oh, it's going over the bar. Why has he hit it?
Well, I actually missed it.
Yeah, and then it took that dip halfway through the air, and it's just beaten the goalkeeper's outstretched hand. And it's such a good goal, and it was at such a crucial time as well. Kettering needed a goal to get back on level terms and steady themselves. And you can see, as soon as they scored the first one, they scored the second one. So it's a good goal and a really, really good time.
How much do you think that will put the Mockers on Stourbridge? I mean, they've been going along quite nicely. They were 10 games unbeaten until that. They won the last 5 games. They came here full of confidence, and Kettering had already beaten them 2-0. They'd beaten Royston, who were in 3rd place. How much do you think that Stourbridge will say, wow, that was an impact, do you think? You did.
For the way they've played today. They're going to have no option, because it's not the odd mistake which has cost them 4 goals. Do you know what I mean? They're going to have to say, actually, put their hands up. Kettering played very well today. But do you know what? I don't think they're going to be too disheartened by this, because they're still in 2nd place. You know, they've still got a point, I think, or so on Royston. And they're going to be in a good position. I mean, like you say, they won the 10 games before this.
Well, unbeaten in 10.
Unbeaten in 10, sorry. And it always goes... We'll have to wait and see. The next match will be the telling one for Stourbridge. As soon as that final whistle went, the next most important thing that Stourbridge do is the game coming up, because they can't afford to lose that one. Because if they have a little bit of a wobble, Royston and other teams start catching them up again. I mean, if they win again next week, they'll forget about this. They'll go, oh, it was a blip against the league leaders, a team that are tipped to win promotion. But if they lose next week, it could be the start of a little bit of a blip, and they might struggle. So we're just waiting to see whether there was anyone coming over. But it looks like we're still getting shakes of the head.
Well, I hope that they do. We are at Rush Hall Olympic on Saturday. Ed and myself will be there. It's going to be a different game entirely. Rush Olympic, not one of the challenges at the moment, but Kettering need to get the foot on the pedal, as they say. Next Tuesday, we're back here at Latimer Park against Redditch United, and then comes the December glut of games with St Ives on the 1st, Lowestoft on the 8th. Both of those are at home. 15th, we've got Banbury United away, which always is a bit of a problem. Hitchin Town at home is on the 22nd, and then we have Christmas Day, which will all be festively up. And then on Boxing Day, it is at Bedworth United. And the final Saturday of December is Kings Lynn Town away, which is always going to be a feisty affair, to say the least. And in between all of that, when the Southern League get their League Cup sorted out, there's a game to be stuck in there in the League Cup, possibly on the Tuesday the 4th of December. We don't know yet, which should have been the Colville Town game, but it isn't to be as of yet. Still nobody coming over. We will keep going. We do need to speak to those people. If somebody could nip out and try and get one of the people over here, that would be great. I'm sure they're all having a knees up over there, but we would hope that they will come over here and give us some time, because it was a fantastic performance. As I say, when we do get the interviews going, we will put them on our highlights package, and it will be available for you to watch sometime in the week. So there we are. If you haven't subscribed yet, if you are watching still, please subscribe to our YouTube station, because we need 1,000 people to subscribe, because we want to start earning some money, as the FA have stopped us earning money on our normal stream. So we were at 821, I think it was, before we came on air. Not quite sure how many we've got now, but if you can subscribe, that would be fantastic. But
Brighton would fit in, but you know, if he plays well, there's no reason why he shouldn't be shoehorned into the team somewhere. But you know, that's as and when. I don't know exact timescales on that one. I know he's been out and jogging. He's not really been kicking a ball at the moment. I say he was with the team on Saturday doing some stretches and doing some light jogging, so maybe worth if we speak to anyone, just seeing what the time scale is for him. But yeah, no, it'll be great to see Brighton back, and you know, that's only going to strengthen the squad.
Well, the door has opened. I'm not sure if that is someone coming in or Matt Spearman's wallet falling out. It is Dan Holman. And Ed will be moving out of the way, and we welcome to Poppies TV our new signing and scorer of the 3rd goal, Dan Holman. Welcome to Poppies TV.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, what a fantastic game of football that was. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was all right. We got the job done in the end, but you know, we didn't start great, but a bit of class from Lyndon and got us back in the game. I think that got us going. And then, yeah, always nice to score 4 goals, and it was a comfortable win in the end.
4 goals in 4 games for you now, 2 on your debut against Kings Lynn, the important goal at Royston Town on Saturday, the only goal of the game, of course, and then the 3rd goal this evening in this classic match. Dream start.
Yeah, good start. Like I said when I came, just looking to help the boys. You know, they've been brilliant so far. The aim's obviously to go up, so I'm glad I've been able to get off to a good start.
What made you move from Aldershot? You were on the bench when we played you in the FA Cup for Aldershot. How did you think that game went?
Yeah, I thought Kettering did really well. Had some great chances, and then you know, it impressed me then. And obviously, I know how close it is to my hometown.
You're from Northampton, yes?
Yeah, from Northampton, and you know, I've been travelling long distances, been away from my family and stuff for a long time, and I just thought it was the right time for me to like focus on something different. And then this gaffer gave me a perfect opportunity here. So
you were along Buckby and Cutner, I think, was it?
Yeah.
In your early days with a different haircut?
I've had a few of them, yeah. No, yeah, I was there, so local, and then moved on to Histon, and then lots of other clubs, but they've always been further afield. There's not too many other than obviously Northampton Town that are local, so yeah, it's football, you've got to travel, but I'm happy to be home and happy to be here. That
did look like a tough game. They were a good side, weren't they, Stourbridge, with Benbow up front there and Greg Mills scoring most of their goals. And Mills again got that soft penalty, didn't he? But it was a good game of football, very feisty, wasn't it? There was a bit of argumental stuff down there. I could hear it from the gantry, etc. But it must be great to be involved in a team that's winning, obviously, and great for you to be involved with our lads.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good atmosphere. The boys are confident, and it's easier to fit in when you're going into a top side. You know, you've got good players around you. So, like I said before, I'm really happy I could slot in. The Gav's played me, and I've been able to repay the faith so far. It's down to us to keep winning games and get over the line.
Have you set yourself any targets, or just trying to maintain your performances?
Yeah, to be fair, it happened so quickly and stuff that just really enjoy playing again, settle in, and which I have done now, and yeah, just enjoy playing, help Kettering achieve something good.
Must be a lot better travelling for you than going to Aldershot every 5 minutes.
It's lovely. I was in the car for about 5 hours a day, past Heathrow, and yeah, it's not good.
It's not good, is it?
Yeah, a few apps, traffic apps downloaded. And
going to be a few different grounds as well for you to go to this season. We've got Rushall Olympic on Saturday, then we're back here against Redditch United next Tuesday, St Ives, Lowestoft, Banbury. Teams you've not played against probably before?
No, because when I played against St Ives before, Lowestoft, I think. When I played, I was in the UCL when I was local, so I didn't play in this league. I played at Kings Lynn.
How have you found the standard of football compared to the National League?
Yeah, it's different. It's a different style, so it's just adapting to it. Like, we've got good players that have played at a good level, so that's easier.
What is good, I looked at it today, people are reading what you're doing with your flicks, etc. Like Marcus Kelly can read it, where we've had players in the past with that ability and the players can't read it. So it shows that the team does know what's going on.
Yeah, of course, yeah, no, they're good players. No,
to change, doesn't it?
Without a doubt, they're good players, so it's not been tough. I think it'd be a lot tougher if you were going into a team that maybe hadn't played at a good level, but everyone's intelligent and good footballers, so it's really helped.
Okay, Dan, well, thank you very much for coming over. Thank you very much for coming to Kettering. It was great. Everybody was delighted, I think, when you came. It was sort of like they're going to win the league anyway. So that was tremendous. I can see we've got manager Marcus Lauren here. Dan, thank you for popping in. Hopefully we'll see you again with a hat-trick.
Yeah.
That's no pressure. But,
thank you.
There we go. Okay, Dan, that's Dan Holman. Oh, it wasn't Mark Lopez. In fact, it was his lookalike. It was Matt Spearman. I've got rid of Dan rather quickly, unfortunately. I have to bring Ed Palmer back in for a few moments.
Oh, what a shame.
But, what a shame, yes. So there we go, out with Dan Holman. And, well, let's show the goals, just in case. Well, you can't see them, as there's not much point is actually showing you the goals until we can see them as here.
No, we can show them. We can show them.
Okay, then, let's look at goal number 1, which was the equaliser. A stunning effort from Mr. Meikle.
Yeah, look at this. Picks it up, and as soon as this bubble goes up, we go, oh, here we go. He's hit it so high, and look at the dip. It's such a good goal. It's arguably one of the best goals I've seen down here. I heard it upstairs, not on commentary, but it was heard in my ear, and I heard you say it actually as I walked in. You had obviously Canavan's name was mentioned. I think this is better than Canavan's.
Yeah, because he looked up, didn't he, with this one, and sort of planted it, where Canavan really was more of a hit and hope.
Yeah, he's tried to catch the keeper off his line, but the technique there is so good. That's just such a good goal. I think this is the second one as well. This is Dan Holman, the man that you've just had in. Good work, and this is a really good ball in. And, you know,
Well, the player there is saying it was a foul. Do you think it was a foul by Richards on,
I don't know.
the defender?
And the issue is, obviously, we've not caught it, and we didn't need to catch it because we didn't realise it was going to be a moment. But I don't know. I'll be honest. At the time, my initial instinct was he might have got a little bit lucky with that one. But when I've sort of played it again in my mind, I think Richards has just shrugged him off. That's all I think's happened. And this is actually a really good goal. You miss a bit of the build-up on this one as to exactly how patient Kettering are. There's a couple of passes before this, and you see here, O'Connor shot, and it got deflected, and instead of trying to turn and shoot again, he lays off Marcus Kelly, and it was coming across his body onto his left foot, and you thought maybe, you see here, maybe Kelly's going to unleash one. But he saw 3 yellow shirts in front of him and thought, actually, no, I'm going to find someone else. And he knows Holman's there. And that is a really, really good finish.
That almost knocked the stuffing out of Stourbridge, didn't it? Really?
Yeah, it did. And you know, it was a big moment for everyone because there were celebrations galore. This is an interesting one because we can't see from here whether it was offside. I mean, Meikle, I think... You're right back there is playing him on.
Yeah, the bloke with the arm up
on the far side. I wonder.
There.
Yeah, he's playing him on. But you see here, Meikle, you think maybe he's going to shoot with his left foot or he's got Honus out on the far side. And he just plays this little reverse ball that no one sees coming. And it's a good finish from Kelly. What you don't see there, just because the point there is it clips in off the post, but he's just lofted it over the goalkeeper's outstretched leg, clips off the post and goes into the back of the net. You know, they're good goals that Kettering have scored. They are really good goals. And you know, I think that there will be teams that look at this, the teams around us, your Stourbridges, your Roystons, your Kings Lynns, sorry. And they'll Biggleswades, yeah. They'll look at this and I think they genuinely will. Their managers tonight will have seen this and gone, maybe we're going to have to...
Marcus Law said on Saturday in his interview that teams don't really rate us. They think we're that good.
The Royston manager, after the game on Saturday in his press notes, after he'd gone through the whole bigging himself up before the game and lost, he said they expected us to be better than we were. He wasn't impressed with us. And, you know, on the one hand, we didn't play at 100%, but we didn't need to. But also, as I was saying out there, I couldn't care if it came off the backside of a defender in the 95th minute.
No. A win is a win.
3 points are 3 points.
And,
you know, you'll always go, it wasn't a great performance. But, again, that wasn't the greatest performance that Kettering have played. It was far from it today. But it's 4-2 against second place. And you just can't complain at a win.
No, you can't, and that's the second victory over Stourbridge, and it doesn't look like we're going to get anybody else from over, which is rather disappointing. Hopefully we were going to get one of the managerial team to come over and give us a few words, but we're keeping going a little bit longer before we decide to hang up the mics. But I'm sure that we'll get some response from that. But the Dan Holman interview will be available on our highlights package. That will be out later in the week. But as I say, we're at Rushall Olympic on Saturday, so join Ed and myself for full audio coverage. And we shall be around there around 2:50, I think it is. I'm just being told in the earphone, time to go home. So unfortunately, no interview from one of the managerial team, which is rather disappointing, but there we go. Right, well, that's going to be it then from myself and Ed and the team. And Short has given us a bit of a laugh there, but that's about it. We're going to call it a good night. We're going to go and have a hot chocolate and a bit of curry in the clubhouse. We'll see you. Well, we won't see you. You'll hear us at Rushall Olympic. Then next week it's back here against Redditch United for another home game. So from here. Getting some feedback in my ear. So from me and Ed, good night.
Good night.